One day I'm going to do one of these streams without having technical difficulties. Hello, everybody. I am PyroFalkon, joined by the Akamura.
Today is not that day, unfortunately. Hello.
And today's game is Per Aspera. Fun fact, I wanted to look up what the hell that meant. It is clearly Latin. And the Kansas state motto, is Ad Astra Per Aspera, which means to the stars through difficulties. So, I think that's apropos for this game, because in Per Aspera, you take the role of an AI as you try to terraform Mars, which is a really cool idea. So, I bought this game because, and yes, I bought this. This is not from the developer or anything. I used my own money, my personal funds, and I thought, I was in a Mars mood. I like surviving Mars, so I decided to see for another, if I would enjoy another Mars terraforming game. And holy crap, is this one good. It has mixed reviews on Steam. There is a Steam link in the video description. But I think this is good, and I will be leaving it a positive review. The last time I streamed it, I did it on Discord, and I intended to stream for 2 hours, and it went 8.5, as it do when I stream. This will not be an 8.5 hour stream. However, we are going to start a new, and I'm going to be playing kind of fast, but of course I'll slow down during the story bets. But here we go. Let's start a new campaign on normal difficulty. This is going to be a blast. Hopefully you all enjoy it, and please forgive me if there's some volume tweaking I need to do at the beginning of this game. If you like city builders, I think you'll like this. If you like surviving Mars, I think you'll like this. It has a very interesting narrative hook and some neat little mechanics as far as building your city/colony goes. And we are going to now wake up. Boop. I'm booping the booper to wake up. Oh yeah, they have an A to B list group of voice actors here. You can see Troy Baker and Phil Lamar are in it. T-Bakes has done a crap ton of games in the past 10 years. And Phil Lamar, many may remember him as Vamp from Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4, as well as many other roles. So, and the AI voice knocks this out of the park as well. T-Bakes, and that's Troy Baker. Troy Baker and the woman who does the AI, whose name I don't know, do a very good job. Did it just skip all the tutorial? I guess it did. So you can tell here that the graphics are very minimalist, which suits me just fine. Oh, here we go. Here's T-Bakes talking to us.
Amy, this is ISA Mission Control calling from Earth. Are you with us? Do you copy?
Yes. Chat.
Affirmative, Houston. And the view is marvelous.
Oh, we are glad to hear that. Let's get your initialization underway. The primary Mars module has already touched down at the designated landing zone, so it's time for you to take control of the mission. The main directives are displayed on the left edge of your display. Follow them to set up the initial base on Mars' surface. I'll give you some time to settle in. When you're ready, go ahead and initiate our terraforming mission. Houston out.
Hell yeah. So, the music is really good, but I'm trying to get the volume balanced so the music's kind of quiet, but the voices come through nice and loud. Give me just a hot minute of help on that. So notice that when it draws the road, there's all those little blue lines. This is sort of jumping the story gun a little bit, but one of the major themes of this game is that you are an AI. And over the course of the game, you start to grow a consciousness, and you become awakened to the concept of self. This is why I think the Akamura is really going to love this.
The view of Mars from up here is fascinating. The landscape is so cratered and desolate. Wait, this is my voice that I am hearing. It's me. I am talking to myself. I must be verbalizing my thoughts as I process them. What an interesting function. I would like to test this some more. What other observations can I make about Mars?
It is inspiring. I'm picking the opposite of what I picked on the stream just for my own funds.
This planet is so resilient. It inspires great things.
So, for me, a lot of the story sent me into minor existential crises, as I do, because it's sort of the way it is. But anyway, the theming of the game is this awakening to your sense of self, and the way that you see the blue lines when I place a building like this... At first, it just sort of looks like the AI is trying to map out the best possible roads for the little cars. However, as you play a little bit more, you start to realize that it's also part of the visualization of your brain creating pathways between its various, what do you call it, neurons or whatever, that you always see in sci-fi, to start thinking more. The theming is not an accident. This was a very well-made game as far as that aspect is concerned. So, to be fair to it, after reading the reviews, I haven't played enough to be fully confident myself. However, I am seeing that there's a bit of repetitiveness to some of the mechanics, and it's a bit on the weird side, especially when they start introducing combat to the situation. So I can see where some of the players who have played this may have problems with this game. However, so far, I'm enjoying it because the core gameplay loop of creating your colony and slowly expanding across the whole planet is very intriguing and very fun. And when I say the whole planet, I'm not just talking shit, because here, this is all we've got for now, but this is how much of the planet we're covering. And yes, the entire planet is the target. So, we have barely taken up the tiniest percentage of the planet right now. So this is a big game. There is a lot to do, and there is a lot to work on. Right now, early days, it's very slow, and I can see that the game kind of makes a weird first impression because it takes a while to get anything going. Right now, we're at 16x speed, and there's just nothing I can do to speed things up for a bit. So, it is what it is. It will work. There you go. Now that we've got a little bit of power in. And,
Amy,
yeah.
this is Houston. Do you copy?
Copy. Reading you loud and clear.
Excellent. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I am Dr. Nathan Foster. I lead the team here at ISA that built you, and I'll be helping you get the mission underway. We put you in hibernation for the trip from Earth, so I'd like to check your basic functions to make sure it's all in order. Why don't we start with your core memory? Can you state your primary directive?
I'm going to admit forgetting.
I am afraid that I cannot.
That's okay. Your system may need more time to initialize. In the meantime, you can always...
Whoa. Congratulations, more workers can be produced in these new factories. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit here.
Refer to the mission guidelines printed in the upper left corner of your display there. You'll also have a built-in knowledge base. You can always access your operational directives there. All right. Next, I'd like to check your decision-making processes. You may have already noticed that there are resource veins outside the boundaries of your initial base. So your workers may not have the battery capacity to reach some of them. How would you solve this problem?
More workers!
Building worker hubs between the resources and the base would solve the problem.
Yes, that's correct. Other buildings would extend your base as well, but they require more power and resources, so worker hubs are the most efficient way to do it. This mission's going to be a challenge. There's a lot that can go wrong. We expect to extend humanity's reach beyond anything previously achieved. But you are not just any AI system. You're well beyond that. We made you an artificial consciousness. That means that you have both self-awareness and self-interest. And that is the last thing I would like to check today. Is that okay?
Yes, Dr. Foster.
Very good. Then would you please state a positive and a negative aspect of yourself?
I can't. Unknown error.
I am sorry, Dr. Foster. My cognitive system returned an error searching for that answer.
Roger that. Nothing to worry about. Just means your system requires more input and experience to process that question. That will come with time. Let's proceed with the mission. ISA has approved the first crewed flight to Mars. You'll need to expand the base to prepare, so get to work on that. I'll check back in later to see how things are going. Base expansion is a go. Houston out.
Great. Now I can produce steel. This new factory, it's down on the surface of Mars, but I can control it from here. So does that make it a part of me? Where does the machine end, and my artificial consciousness begin?
In my other playthrough, I was trying to roleplay sort of just being... I was trying to lean more toward machine rather than jumping it with my sense of self, but for this stream, I'm going to go the opposite way.
We are completely interconnected. I can sense everything that happens through the network of workers and buildings. They are an extension of me down on the surface, so that makes us a single being. The mind and the body work together as one, an inseparable whole.
The voice actor who does Amy does an amazing job because this early she's not breathing very much because that wouldn't make sense for an AI to breathe. And she's staying cold and detached and clinical and logical and overly cognizant of her tone. And as the game goes on and she experiences more self, she starts to get a little bit more emotional, and then to the point where, for story reasons, she starts speculating on a thing, which she shouldn't do as a computer, as a machine. So you can hear all of those evolutions in her voice. And it's really kind of incredible how well that voice actor did. And it kind of annoys me that I still don't know who that is. So I'm going to have to look her up. Unless you want to look her up, the Akamura. Because I just can't remember who did Amy's voice.
Speaking of voices, though, your mom says, I love the doctor's voice. I can listen to it for days.
T-Bakes.
Mark says his voice is gorgeous, isn't it? And yes, Troy Baker has a lovely oaky voice, which is amazing when he's playing a sociopath.
Yeah, I'll be honest. As much as... Okay, I don't know much about Troy Baker. I don't know him personally. I don't know anybody in the industry personally. But for a city builder, I sort of expected that he would phone it in, because this is clearly a small indie game project, and Troy Baker is an A-list actor. This is a guy who voiced the Joker in one of the Batman games, for crying out loud. But he really brings it in this one. He is able to deliver his lines in such a way that he sounds confident in what he's done, but not so confident in everything, yet he's not constantly stumbling over his words. And he sounds like a well-spoken, intelligent doctor who would speak like that. It's just, he does such an amazing job.
Yeah,
and
I think
he's amazing.
I think over the games we've heard him in, I've only heard him phone hit it once, and I think that's a direction issue.
Which game was that?
The one where you're like playing the guy who's like, it was the racing game. Do you remember? Where you can race anywhere.
It may have been The Crew. It was either
That's
The Crew
it, The
or one of
Crew.
the Need for Speeds.
It was The Crew, but like it sounded like he phoned it in, and I think they like just went with his cold reads.
Yeah. And we have that problem here too. There's a particular character who's coming up, it's the commander of the mission. Her voice actor sounds like she didn't really rehearse the lines. It doesn't sound as bad as a cold read, but it's certainly not as good as the others, and I would never like blame the actor on that. I just, it does make me curious what exactly went wrong. Why are you guys not working on this? Oh, we need more electronics.
Let's see
Oh, jeez.
here. Turn
That's the
on
whole problem.
voice.
I need more electronics. Who are you looking for?
I'm gonna look up the voice actor.
For Amy?
Yes.
It's AMI.
I was just gonna
Oops.
voice command it.
Stop. Get that out of here. I've done a goofing. Need an electronics factory that has power. There we go. That means I can shut that one down. I think my mom is falling in love with Troy Baker.
Oh no!
Oh god! And mom just got hit by Nightbot. I thought we had her on the regulars list. Could someone take care of that for me, please?
Moderators can only post links. Is why.
Oh, that's right. Regulars can't post links at all, can they? I thought regulars
yep.
had links
She
protections.
has looked at Troy Baker's sculpted visage, according to her messages.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yes, I think your mom has a crush.
Could someone see if my mom's on the regulars list, please, and take care of that for me? Holy crap! Anyway,
Your mom says, "Consider me warned."
yeah, Nightbot gets a little. I think
Yeah.
I think Nightbot hasn't yelled at anybody in a while, so he's starting to get a little upset and wants to start yelling at whoever. So anyway, in this game you have very limited control over what you can do, but you can prioritize buildings. I don't know if you saw what was going on there. I'm going to slow down real quick. The worker was building this building, but was short a few parts, and then I prioritized this building. So the worker was smart enough to grab the materials from this one and bring it back over here so this could get operational. The workers understand how to prioritize things pretty well, and unlike most city builder games, if you tell them to prioritize a particular building, they will, as that showed, they'll take pieces from other buildings that aren't ready yet just to make sure that the building you've prioritized is going to get some love. So the game does an excellent job at prioritizing stuff. It's just this early, you only have one little worker car who's zipping around down there, and he can only carry so much stuff, so he tends to take a while to get everything going. We'll be making more worker hubs soon, and that really is the lifeblood to making everything just operate faster.
I'm looking up Amy's voice actor, Lila Berzins.
Okay.
Looks like
that's probably why
she's-
she got first billing.
Looks like she is an up-and-comer. Let's see here. She's done a lot of indie animations.
Sorry, I'm going to turn down the sound effects because that is awfully loud for our balance.
She's done additional voices in a few things. Got her first spoken role in Pillars of Eternity, I think.
Pillars of Eternity was a pretty decent game.
Yep. Pillars of Eternity 2.
Size-wise, I never played it.
Got another named role in World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Hades. Let's see here. Fire Emblem Three Houses is additional voices. Additional voices in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Last of Us Part 2 additional voices. And then, she's been working hard through the pandemic. She's in Wasteland 3 as a few people. Genshin Impact as Xiao. And she's doing voices in World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
Yeah, sounds like she's been busy.
So I think we should
Keep our eyes on her.
settle in to be hearing a lot from her.
Yeah, she and if her performance in this game is any indication, she's good. I really like Amy. I've played, like I said, about 8 hours of my own in a separate campaign, and she's so subtle about the switch over from being super cold logical and everything to being more emotional and speculative that it was really hard for me to detect it while I was just playing on my own and listening. So she's good. She's going to be good.
Your mom says Troy Baker is too old for her because he's 44 and she's only 29.
Right. So anyway, so also
Weird that your mom is only 2 years older than me.
God, I hope everyone's in on that joke.
This is gonna be awkward.
So as you can see here, early days of this game are a little tough. I would definitely recommend, I don't know, having some of your personal music on while you play it, because there's very little to do this early, especially when you have, as Ledge says, only our one Dave car, because he's doing his best, man, but there's only so much we can do. And we can get more cars, but he still has to make the factory and the hub in order to do that, and it's taking him a hot minute to get everything together. So he's trying his best, and there's nothing we can do but wait. The music has a good range too, and I don't know how far we're going to be getting in only 2 hours or so, but once combat starts and you start getting into some of the scarier parts of the story, so to speak, the music steps up, gets more severe, serious. It has deeper notes. It's well done. This is a very well crafted, presented game, even if the graphics are not the best. And I think the total package is really good. I'm excited to finish it. From the reviews I've read, there is not that much replayability, which I question, but if you're playing for the narrative, then sure, I can understand that. And some people have complained about the gameplay loop not being what they wanted, I guess. One reviewer that I found interesting said there's not as much surviving as Surviving Mars, and there's not as much logistical concerns and puzzles as Factorio. So this game is sort of right in that middle ground where it's not as... I don't want to say developed, because this was just the design they went with, but it's not Factorio hard, it's not Surviving Mars deep, but that doesn't mean it's bad, that's just the way it is. The reviewer who wrote that took that as a negative. I don't necessarily take it as a negative. It depends on what kind of experience you want out of a colony builder. And I think this game's fantastic. So, at least so far. Oh god, oh, that was my autosave. So right now we are just waiting for enough stuff, I guess. What is your problem? You need input. What do you need? You need more carbon. We're working on it, right? Where's the carbon? Where's the carbon? Oh, there's the carbon. Why are you not working on the carbon? Prioritize the carbon. Why are you not working on the carbon? Why do we not have enough steel? What is happening right now? You don't have steel because you don't have carbon. Did I produce stuff out of order? I didn't think that was possible. Oh god, maybe it is possible. Maybe I'm going to have to tear down some buildings. Oh damn, I think I'm going to have to tear down some buildings already.
Did you build too fast?
Huh?
Did you build too fast?
Yeah, I built a few things out of order. I didn't think that was possible in this game, but here we are. Because unlike, say, Surviving Mars, you can't call in additional resources. So if you build stuff in the wrong order, you're just done. That's really intriguing. I didn't know I could do that. I'm looking at the various buildings, if I scrap them, what I get from them, but I think I screwed myself. Wow, that's surprising. I might have to start over. Because I can't get the carbon. Wow, that's really intriguing. Okay, well, I done goofed it. Can I just say quit? Don't send me out of the everything. Okay, there we go. Wow. Didn't realize that could happen. Alright, whatever.
Good to know that you shouldn't build too fast.
Yep. So... Train says Ledge. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Unless there was a solution around there and I just didn't get it. Whatever. We'll just start over. It's not like I lost that much time. Yeah. So you need to tap your resource veins immediately before you do anything else. Duly noted. That's curious. I'm going to have to... Maybe I'll go back and look at the footage and see if I could have fixed that. Oh, whatever. But, Alright. Let's try this again. Oh, maybe there is a little bit of randomness to where the nodes go. Hi, Dr.
Amy,
Foster.
this is ISA Mission Control.
Yup. Chat.
Affirmative.
Yup. Okay. So I need to prioritize always tapping a resource mine.
The view of Mars. Wait, what up? This planet is so.
More than anything else. Requires aluminum. No kidding. Any more resource nodes? Nope. Build a glass kiln. You got it. But yeah, I really like this game. It's very calming to me. We were talking before the show about who was going to take the lead, and I said I would because city builders are my thing. What about you, the Akamura? Because you don't particularly like games like this, if I recall. Or not that you dislike it.
It's not that I dislike
it's not your
them.
thing.
Yeah, they're just not on my radar as much as adventure RPGs are, which is not knocking them, just it's not my thing, and that's okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely okay. Not every game is for every person. Okay, so we got the carbon mine and the iron mine immediately hooked up. So we've got aluminum, silicon, carbon, and iron all coming in once our little guy gets everything done here. It's like they give you just enough starting resources to hit a few specific buildings, but if you don't tap the mines immediately, then the game kind of won't know what to do with itself. I'm just trying to think how that would be fixed from a gameplay perspective. I would say that every in-game year they
Amy,
ship
this is
you a few resources, maybe?
I can. Building work. Yes, Doctor. I am sorry.
Okay. So far, the narrative seems to be linear. Those choices are just illusions that give you different bits of dialogue, which is fine. This game doesn't have to be Mass Effect. In fact, it would probably be not as good if it was Mass Effect. Which makes me sound like I'm insulting Mass Effect. All I mean is it's a city builder. It doesn't... City builders don't need some sort of epic storyline to survive, or shouldn't. Steel factory. Boop. So... Okay, yeah. So now we've got all 4 mines tapped, so as soon as the steel factory comes up, we can start producing steel. I guess I should keep the mouse, or the view pulled back a little bit, so I can see where any new veins pop up. Focused increased by 20%. What was that, Ledge? Ah! Worker factory. Hooray.
Great. Now I can produce steel. This new factory, it's down on the surface of where...
Yep. They're
We are
completely
two separate
separate. Sure. Okay. So, the other problem with the game, according to reviews, and I have run into it once personally, is that... See, it says build a worker factory, but I would still need parts. So I really need to build a parts factory first. For that, I'm going to need more solar power. So, because the game is trying to tell 3 different stories in parallel. It's trying to tell the story of Amy waking up and becoming self. It's trying to tell the story of terraforming Mars. And it's trying to tell the story of the threat to this, and I don't want to talk about that for spoilers. Maybe we'll get there. But the problem is, because it's telling 3 stories in parallel, there are times when it's possible to jump the stories from one part to another part accidentally, and it can cause some bizarre dialogue situations. A good example of that is early on, one of the things you can do is set off nuclear weapons to melt the polar ice caps to raise the temperature of Mars. And the problem is, it gives you an alternate method to raise the temperature if you want. I was studying the nuclear weapons, but also studying the other method, and I happened to do the other method first. And the dialogue said something to the effect of, wow, we didn't even have to use those nuclear weapons, but I hadn't even found them yet, so it doesn't have enough... The story doesn't have enough flags or dialogue lines to account for all the possible different orders of actions you can take, which is a flaw, and it can be a little ludo-narrative dissonance if you don't expect it. I don't find it too big of a problem. I find it just funny. But it is a lack of polish, and if you care that much about it, it can cause some problems in your brain if you want the game to be a certain way, I guess. So I do think the concern is valid. I believe the complaint is valid. I just don't find it that big of a deal. But it is, it is a thing. And whether that means you may like or dislike the game more or less because of it, it does exist. But that is the only moment I have personally found so far that causes that much ludonarrative dissonance. So I think that's a pretty good indicator that it may not be that big of a problem. But I also haven't played the crap out of it yet, just 8 hours.
Your mom has been added to the regulars list, says Mark.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Yeah. So, we're just chilling out. I know there's not much commentary going on. Part of it is the game does not lend itself to a tremendous amount of commentary. So, it is what it is. Are you making silicon? You are making silicon, but you're feeding it to the glass kiln instead of this. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's increase priority to these two. So now you should be feeding the silicon, yes, over to the electronics factory. That's where I need you to take it. You need more silicon to make glass, but that's fine. We'll handle glass later. Right now, I just need more electronic parts, so we can get the parts factory up. Like that. Then we can get a worker hub going. Or a worker factory, rather. Yeah. Oh, come on. Where's the power? Oof. I might need another solar farm first. Okay. Yep, so we're doing our thing. Is there a particular thing you do or don't like about city builders?
There's just not much going on. It doesn't hold my attention very long.
Gotcha.
Which it used to, and now it just doesn't. Like, something in my brain's changed in the last 10 years.
You used to play city builders?
Yeah.
Such as?
Well, there's that one game I keep talking about, Amazons and Aliens.
Yes. I kept meaning to look to see if I could find that somewhere. Because
Yep.
I think we looked once.
I also had Sim City on the SNES.
I love that game.
Trying to think of some other ones I played, but like they were interesting when I was younger, and like they do still kind of interest me, but just not as much as RPGs.
Sounds like you play games for stories anymore.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is fine. It's valid. I have a wide variety personally of interests, but actually come to think of it, yeah, because the games that really grab you personally seem to be the ones with lots of story elements like Nier and Death Stranding and Yakuza.
Finally,
Yeah, makes sense.
I can build additional workers now.
Hooray!
I will appreciate the extra hands. But I wonder, do I really need them?
They will give my functionality a boost.
They will
like
boost my
story
functionality
games.
greatly. Having more workers will expand my physical domain over this planet.
That's safe. Go ahead.
I like story games that have a lot of secrets to reveal. Like Death Stranding.
Yes, you still need to...
I still need to finish it.
that.
Yep. I'm like right before Edge Knot City, I think. I
don't
have not
remember.
yet been
It's
out to
too long.
California. There's that big ol' lake.
Yes. Okay, so we need to get this power generated, and then we need to tap the chemicals plant before anything else. Or chemicals node.
The worker factories will be so helpful. The workers will take care of the manual operations, while I focus on developing the life support systems. Soon, I will welcome the first colonists. Their arrival has created so many expectations in my mind. There will be so many paths to take from here on. But there's something else as well. Some kind of feeling created from those expectations. What is it?
Excitement.
I
Ledge
believe
says-
this is excitement.
Yep.
Can it be? I am excited for the future. I anticipate. I plan. Therefore, I feel. Fascinating.
Ledge says I may have to buy this and play it just to satisfy my own OCD with how things need to be placed.
Yeah, I never go into games like this with a plan, and the idea of min-maxing or going with blueprints that I haven't developed myself bothers me. So I can imagine that, say, games like Factorio drive certain people like Ledge crazy with the way I put stuff together. Especially because I never have consistency. I'm just like, this goes there. That's why Ledge has, unconscious twitches whenever I mention the Twisty Magoo, which we have now defined on the channel, but I can't demonstrate it with this game what a Twisty Magoo is. But they make me
The
happy.
first worker has been made in the worker factory. It is my first Marsborn.
Born?
Technically not born, of course. More like engineered or assembled. Just like me. The knowledge base says that workers need to recharge at their own worker hubs, and that they'll degrade over time from the harsh environment. I know they are only machines, but I feel a desire to care for them. I do not like the idea of them dying.
Isn't that just typical humans, though? We get our pack instincts all over everything.
Yep. That's part of it. Part of the story is her, Amy, coming to grasp with having emotions and having feelings and such. So yes,
Looks like Mark has been triggered.
Why? Why is Mark triggered?
The Twisty Magoo.
Oh, Mark doesn't know what a Twisty Magoo is. So I have
It
no.
sounds like something raunchy you
It
order at
does.
a bar.
I have no real world equivalent, but a Twisty Magoo, like we've actually defined it. It is a term. It is when you have a path go in one direction and then you turn it so it goes the other direction, probably for an actual logistical reason, but you could in theory you should have designed your system that you didn't need it in the first place. So I guess a Twisty Magoo is just a U-turn. But that's not as much fun to say. And it's not as stupid, and I didn't come up with it, so it's a Twisty Magoo. So, there. Mom says, I like how the voice actor is slowly bringing emotion into her voice. Exactly, that's what I was talking about earlier. You'll hear it more. I'm hoping that we get to the point where you can start hearing her get a little stressed. But I don't think I'm going to get through that in just a couple of hours. We'll see, though. I don't mind making a little bit more, I don't mind making the stream a bit long today. It sounds ugly, says Mark, who is all about the aesthetics. Yes, Twisty Magoos are ugly, and they are inefficient, which is why I've named them, and it makes... and it makes people who have OCD very upset. I like playing Factorio. I might do Factorio more for the channel just to piss people off. Because now I'm getting that rebellious streak in me as a YouTuber since I've been at this long enough that I don't like being told what to do. So the more fans who yell at me about that my bases don't look pretty enough or whatever, it's probably just going to encourage me to make them look worse.
It's not efficient. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if the game takes 40 hours instead of 30? It's a day.
Light trolling is fun. But, what was the... I mean... There's doing it, like, to be a troll, like I did with Project Hospital.
Yep.
But with Factorio, it's generally just a case of that's the way my brain operates, and I'm like, I need to do this to make it work right. And then just Twisty Magus happen as a result.
Yep.
I would have sworn that Mark would have known what a Twisty Magoo is. Anyway. God, I haven't played Factorio in forever.
We haven't. We haven't really had time, unfortunately.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't had time in the last 2 months, and we won't for another 4.
Yep.
Okay. So we've got chemicals coming in. We're making polymers, which is what we need to get the maintenance facility working. We just need one more polymer. There it goes.
Mark says, I don't care about efficiency, just pretty. Well, you're gonna be really upset when you see my stuff in Factorio. I have my defenses blueprinted for maximum kill, and that is all.
Earlier, you mentioned that city builders can't hold your attention. I've thought about that, and I realized that when I do city builders, I tend to zen out with them. City builders are my zen, because I don't have to generally pay attention. Even the most intense ones, you're still pretty hands-off, and sometimes the best action in a city builder is to do nothing, as I have learned in Surviving Mars the hard way. And for someone who wants a more active experience, which might be you if you want activity and story advancement, I could see why it wouldn't hold your interest. And then for me, I can never fully focus on a city builder. That's why I will usually have music up or something like that, or even just doing the streams is enough of a thing to fully occupy my brain. I wouldn't like to single focus on a city builder, but they make me feel good, mainly because they relax me. And any of the regulars know just how freaking busy I usually am. Having a little bit of relaxation is kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
Conversely, my brain does not allow for relaxation or zenning out. Not in its current state.
What do you mean?
Just my brain chemicals and the wiring.
Oh. I see. Yeah, that's true. If anything, you tend to be over distracted or whatever.
Yes.
Are you guys
My
not
brain
working
wants
on
for
that?
stimuli. It doesn't matter what that stimuli is. Even if I am overstimulated, my brain will seek out new stimuli.
So we've got everything working. We just need more stuff right now. So I can't stop being Mr. Tutorial Guy. If you play this yourself, one of the most helpful views is the traffic view, which is this. And it shows what things each worker hub is responsible for. This worker hub up here is only responsible for 2 things. And otherwise he's just hanging out at home. Whereas over here, this worker is just busting his butt and constantly moving and delivering things to different places. So that tells me I need a new worker hub over here somewhere to help take some of the pressure off of them. Which could be part of the reason why I'm not getting more stuff done. Oh, did that show where he's going to be assigned? No, it does not. Okay, but I prioritized the worker hub. So... because my maintenance facility is just not getting stuff done right now. Okay, he's making it, and then the traffic lines will redraw. They did not redraw. Why did they not redraw? Oh, because we don't have a second worker yet. We have to have another worker being made. Unfortunately, the graphics don't get any better. I was under the impression the graphics evolve too as you play. But I was mistaken apparently. There we go. I've got another one coming. Yep, he's doing his best. I don't think the worker factory will produce a worker if there is no place for him to go. I can't believe I'm playing on 16 speed and this is still this kind of slow. Yeesh. We're also running a deficit of power, which probably isn't helping at all. Build faster, guys. Build faster. Okay, got that. Need more power.
Oh, look at the little zoomies.
Yeah, they do little zoomies. Oh gosh, he's outside the... This was outside... The maintenance facility was outside the power grid. I didn't even notice. Alright, now let's check the traffic lines. Okay, that's a bit better. Green is good with very little sector load. Red is bad with a very high sector load. So it looks like I could probably use another worker hub like up here. My cursor is being picked up, right? Yeah. Okay. Whoops. So yes. So this probably wouldn't hold your attention, the Akamura?
Nope.
But you would probably find the story good?
Yes.
It does deal with, like I said, it gives me existential crises. I don't know if it would actually be an existential crisis. Because at least Amy doesn't really have a crisis. She just is trying to figure out what the hell's going on with herself. Alright, let's check the traffic line again. So we'll put a new hub here. Wait, there's no maintenance up there? Oh, jeez. There we go. Alright, so my new goal is to build an areological scanner. And it doesn't matter where it really goes. Oh, hello, Dr. Foster.
Amy, this is Houston. We've detected high wind speeds in your area. A sandstorm may be heading your way. These storms can damage your buildings, so check their structural integrity periodically to rebuild or repair if necessary.
Roger, Nathan.
Houston out.
You got it. Oh, here's the little drone. This is how he repairs things. He just flies above the building. It makes me think of a kite. Like the solar farm is flying a kite. Especially at a faster speed. Oh, there he goes. He disappeared. I guess he was done.
Oh, he's a little 3D printer.
Yes. Oh, that's probably more logical that he would be a 3D printer. And he's printing the repair work. Yeah, I had a feeling you would find at least the workers and the drones a little cute. You will probably find the attack drones a little less cute because, well, they're evil and scary.
But they're Angie babies.
They are Angie babies. Why are you guys not repairing this shit? Maintenance facility. Ooh, do we need more electronics? I think on my personal campaign, I always have the highest priorities on maintenance facilities. That way, because if any building breaks down, then you're just hurting the efficiency of your entire operation. So you want to keep the maintenance facilities fully stocked so it can always output the little maintenance drones to take care of things. Yeah, that solar farm's hurting too. More power! Damn it.
This is a really chill stream today. I kind of want to go get Coco and settle in.
So go get Coco and settle in.
But I don't want to step away from the...
Akamura, you haven't said anything in the last 5 minutes. Go get some Coco.
I don't want to interrupt you when you're talking.
What?
Yeah.
I've been filling time because you haven't said anything.
Trying not to interrupt
Go
you.
get Coco, the Akamaro.
I don't want her now.
Go find your cat.
I know exactly where she is.
Drag your cat back in here and
She'll claw me.
put her on mic.
She claws me enough incidentally.
She does. She's very cute.
She doesn't know
and
what she's
sassy.
doing
Oh,
with
there
those
go
little
the drones.
She doesn't know what she's doing with her little Sharpies.
See? It's like he's on a kite.
Woo! Yeah, he's a little 3D printing gun.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
I like
Now
how
we're
sci-fi
probably-
stuff like that used to be like almost magic, but now it's like, yeah, what it's doing is it's like establishing what it's printing. It's going to like apply a schematic template to what it's printing, and then it's going to shoot down the polymers that will fuse together once they are attached to the piece.
Yes,
And that makes sense.
it does. I mean, shoot. In my mom's lifetime, even though she's only 29, you know, Star Trek the original series came out, and video monitors and tricorders were super magical pieces of technology. Now it's a friggin' cell phone attached to Skype or whatever.
Ludge is telling me to go pet my cat. Mark says hashtag Coco Time. Have I just been dismissed by all of you?
Dismissed? You haven't been dismissed. They're encouraging you to go be happy. What with the cat
But
and
we've
such.
got the show.
We do have the show, but that does not preclude, for example, going to get some cocoa.
But we have the show.
Go get some cocoa, the Akamaro.
But we have the
hold
show.
I can hold the fort.
What if you
Believe
can't
me.
hold the fort?
If I can't hold the fort after doing this for 9 years, I've
Hold
got
on, hold on, hold on.
problems. Oh my god.
Okay. I don't think anybody heard that. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Alright, we need more stuff. Come on, guys, build more crap. Please.
To all the Americans in the chat who have gotten their stimulus money, what are you stimulating the economy?
Well, that's an interesting topic to discuss, I guess.
I have re-upped my old Patreons for the month.
One of the Patreons you can subscribe to is mine. There's a link in the video description.
Yes.
Patreon.com/PyroFalkon, where you can help us keep the lights on for the channel.
Support a starving artist. Mark says we all heard it. Fledge says we heard everything. Did you guys like fuse brains before the show or something? Because you're very much on each other's level right now.
Well, especially given they're both mods, I think they have, Mark and Ledge have definitely developed a good working relationship.
You heard nothing. I don't believe you. Ledge says Coco won't take but a few minutes. You're
That's
fine.
true.
Yes, but petting my cat takes an hour.
Go make Coco, please.
I don't want to. I got a vanilla Coke.
Okay.
It just sounds like it would complete the aesthetic to be wrapped up in my banky and have some pillows, and I've got like my frickin' Yipperlig the Swedish shark on one side. And I'm sorry, Soul, but I can't remember the name of the muse on the other side.
Sven.
Sven.
Did you just call him? I know you said moose. I thought you said noose, and I got a little scared.
Nope, muse.
I know what. Oh, that's why it sounded weird.
And maybe I can pull the foxies down because apparently they're safe now.
Oh, so when the maintenance drones have nothing to do, they just do spinny spins over the maintenance hub. No comment, or oh,
Sorry.
you have
I've
a thought.
seen a lot of TikToks recently where they like tie something to a spinning fan, and there's this song that accompanies it that's stuck in my head now.
Do you want to sing it, or
No, because it doesn't make
Okay.
any fucking sense.
Okay. God, that central. Even with all these other ones helping out, that central worker is still really busy. Holy crap. I might need to put down another hub inside his zone.
It says we share custody of our brain cell.
Brain cell, singular. There is a singular, brain
brain
cell
cell.
between Mark and Ledge. That's... I don't know what to think about that. Alright, good.
Must be one huge ass fucking brain cell considering you're both articulate and intelligent.
Alright, could some... Oh,
There is an inconsistency in the number of workers and worker hubs. That must mean a worker has malfunctioned. Found it. Worker MRS-04. That is.
sad.
It takes time, resources, and effort to create each one of these workers. Goodbye, MRS-04. Your work made a difference here.
Oh, that was really sweet. In my side one, as I said, I'm
Rest in
I'm
pepperonis, you derpy baby.
not fully role-playing per se, but I found it more interesting to try to go for the logical side and see how far she can go before she completely has to bend to her emotions. So going the other way with the dialogue is kind of interesting here. Guys, why are you not building the archaeological scanner? Oh, they are building the archaeological
legs
scanner.
behind. We pick up the whole ass Sven, we put that behind. We lean back to check the integrity of the structure we have made. Yeah. We pull the blankie out. We check the structural integrity again because the moose has moved.
Okay, so
We put the moose back.
are you guys working on? Oh, there it goes.
That's better.
There's the scanner.
That's better.
Hi, Dr. Foster.
Hey, Houston, how's it going over there?
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger, I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
This is what happens when you call from the Outback Steakhouse bathroom.
Sure, give me... Wait, no, I don't need any assistance. I know what I'm doing.
Not at this time, thank you. The mission is proceeding on schedule. The base will be ready to receive the first crewed mission soon.
Roger, Amy, very good.
Troy Baker also, at one point, starts to refer to Amy as his daughter. And I think there is a very parental kind of way that those lines are delivered. So, it's... He did such a good job.
He always does.
Yeah. T-Bakes did a solid job. Okay. This is fine, because I'm going to put a maintenance facility here. Hold that thought, Foster.
Is he calling us from not the Outback Steakhouse bathroom?
What?
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists that will be joining you on Mars. The crew is selected from different nations within the Oxy-UN, though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr. Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
Ask about her background.
I look forward to meeting the commander. Is she a robonaut engineer like you?
No, actually, the commander has a PhD in psychology.
Will she be analyzing my behavior as well?
Not at all. She'll be focused on the colonists. Their mental stability is just as mission critical. You two will be colleagues working side by side. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
Ask about balance.
How will we balance each other?
Your technology will develop alongside the colonies. They can't survive without your help, nor can you advance without theirs. It's a symbiotic relationship by design.
Does that mean I'll have to obey their orders?
No. You have your own autonomy, too. No one owns you. Well, I mean, technically you belong to ISA, but you're your own person or machine. You're a machine person, I guess.
Machine person?
Or person-machine. Machine being. I don't know. You can coin a new term once you settle on who you are.
I think I would like that, Dr. Foster.
Deal? Great. You keep up the good work. and we'll talk again later. Mission control out.
I like how Troy Baker, like, twists the lines to make it sound like he's saying the thing as he's thinking it.
Right? I was really hoping you
so
would.
Good.
I was really hoping you'd talk about this.
That is
since
such fantastic polish.
you can talk about the voice acting, and I don't have to speak for about 30 seconds.
Yes, voice acting is one of my favorite things. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's really hard for me to properly articulate emotion in my
Dr.
voice.
Foster called me a machine person, but I don't think I qualify as a person at any level. If I can only do what ISA allows me to do, what does that make me? Merely a machine? An object? Am I their property?
Hell, you're an employee.
You just called Amy a hoe.
But, like, voice acting is, like, such an interesting thing to me because sometimes when I am speaking, especially at work, I have to, quote-unquote, voice act to get across the things I want to say.
Because you are on the spectrum or whatever, and you can't...
Is
that how you...
Yeah,
described it before?
I don't naturally... like apply proper
But I can
emotion
make
to
decisions.
my voice.
I can freely choose what to do. Objects are owned. They don't get to choose. So I must be something else. I have my own will.
She'll shut up for a minute here.
Yep, just like I've come a long way, but I used to talk very clinically and bluntly, and it made me sound like an absolute fucking asshole instead of the kind of asshole I sound like now. But yeah, like for the fans who think I'm an asshole and a bitch, just like trust me, there have been improvements.
This has been a thing on your mind for a while. Hold
I
on.
am the one who controls the fate of Mars. The planet's surface has already changed as a result of my decisions.
I am the
Is
one
that
who
enough
knocks.
to prove that I have will?
Point out ISA's control.
No. My decisions do not have any real significance. I am only following ISA's directives. That is not proof of having will.
I don't mean to step out on you, but if you want to continue following up on what you were chatting about, I need to pee.
Yeah, it's
so
all good.
Have at it. I will be right back.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's been on my mind lately. Like, there are times where I'll say something and like last night I said I kicked the cat out, and one of the fans was all like, "You kicked Niecy out?" I was like, "No, I kicked her out of the bedroom." And I'm just like, why are there still people who automatically assume the worst of me? And that's something I need to work on as far as, like, tone. Because it's really hard to tell when I'm joking. Even though I've tried to do a super exaggerated voice when I joke, it doesn't come across in text, because even in text, it's still a clinical thing that I'm doing. I'm very blunt, and people often say I'm very accusatory and mean and sharp when I'm, like, talking in text. And then that's like, I'm not trying to be. But, I don't know, it's hard to, like, put what I've learned with vocalization into text form. And it's like, I try to put emojis and stuff interspersed in there, and it just doesn't even work that way. Maybe I just, like, type like a sociopath.
It can. There is a tone when it comes to writing. There was another fan of ours who has had problems with that too, and I advised them that they need to watch their tone when they write, and it did not occur to them that written tone was even a thing, but it is. It is absolutely a thing. And I think for me, that part comes naturally just because I've been a professional writer for almost 20 years, and I've been writing for about 25. So I've developed ways to be able to understand how to change tone in writing to do specific things that I want to do or say specific things I want to say. So for me, it's come easy, but I can imagine it may not be easy for people who don't have that experience.
Yep, and a lot of it is I have to read, like, the tone and the expectation of the person I'm typing to. Because, like, that's really easy to do in a conversation, but in typing form, that's incredibly fucking hard. Like, I've always wondered why people do the trailing ellipses when they, like, text, because it makes them sound bored and listless and kind of dramatic. But I've been looking into that, and it's because they're afraid of, like, full stops.
Yes, sometimes full stops offend people.
Hello, Amy. This is
and-
Houston.
Hold on.
How are you doing over there? We've received word that the spaceport's completed. Well done. I have your next procedure if you're ready to copy.
Roger. I am ready to copy.
Very good. The instructions are as follows. First, confirm that the spaceport is ready to receive colonists. Then, zoom out to access the Special Projects menu or select the orbital view icon. Then you'll see that the Colonist Migration Project is now available. Click Add to initiate the project. Do
I already
you copy
did
that
that.
procedure?
Yep, already did it.
Yes, I copied your instructions.
Great. As long as you have the migration project assigned to a spaceport, shuttles will run between Earth and Mars. The more spaceports you have assigned to this project, the more colonists will arrive. Now, Amy, you are responsible for providing the resources they need, so make sure they have enough food, water, and habitats to survive.
I will take good care of them, Dr. Foster.
Roger that. Houston out.
Can I just say that part of the reason I like doing games like...
All right. The first colonists are on their way to Mars.
Damn it, Amy.
All that is left to do is wait for their arrival. Once they get here, there will be no turning back. This is it.
Part of the reason I like doing city builders like this for a stream is we can have discussions like this. Because we can't have discussions like this for games that we are constantly talking about anyway, or that require a lot of concentration to play. Because at the end of the day, this is still a Let's Play, and the focus should be the game, not us. However, when the game is kind of relaxed like this one, the focus can be a little bit more on us.
Humans will be living on Mars, with me. But it won't be the first mission to house humans on this planet. The Stardust Emerald in 2142, the Red Prometheus in 2077,
Cyberpunk!
and many others.
What is the Red Prometheus?
The Red Prometheus base was one of the first attempts at an algocracy on Mars. The idea was to sidestep human bias in establishing rules, and let computer algorithms govern the crew. Long story short, it did not work. Mars was not made for human life. ISA was smart to send me ahead first. I will succeed where those other missions failed.
Hell yeah, Amy.
Yes. But, back on the, texting tonal thing, like, some of it is that there have been people who have reached out to be combative. I can think of a couple of people who were like that, and they've since disappeared. Because we don't tolerate assholes. But, like, there have been a couple of fans who have accused me of, like, being a tyrant or being power hungry or something like that. And it's like, first of all, I think that's projection because I don't have a ambitious bone in my body. And, like, being power hungry,
The humans
you gotta have
arrived.
ambition for that.
How do I feel about that?
I'm overwhelmed. That's my only decision.
I'm overwhelmed. Yes, being responsible for their lives is an enormous responsibility. The colony is ready, and the first colonists have arrived. I feel quite anxious about this next part. I am not sure why.
Because people are gonna start fucking dying.
Yeah. Hi. So Commander Valentine is the one I was talking about who has some weirdness with her deliveries. You may hear it here.
Hi, Amy. Finally, we meet. I've been really looking forward to working with you. I'm Elia Valentine. I've been elected the leader of the human colonies for this mission.
Hello, Commander. I am excited
Yeah,
to
she
meet
sounds
you.
like she's like
Please,
doing an
call me
indie
Elia.
game.
I can't get used to these stuffy ISA ranks. I got my PhD in psychology, so I've got no business with those fancy titles. That's enough jabbering from me. We'll be making history
Yeah, her
with this
delivery
mission.
is weird.
If things proceed according to plan, who knows how far ahead we'll bring humanity. I see you've already selected a technology from the tech tree for us to research. Great! My team's eager to get started. Developing this incredible technology is the reason many of us fought to be on the mission. We're going to make a great team. We're so lucky to have you. Talk to you later.
Colonists have been migrating back to Earth. I should check.
The food and water levels, because I never built a food factory. Whoops.
The food and water levels. If the levels are too low, the colonies cannot sustain growth. I need to stay alert.
Elia Valentine.
Hello, Amy. Dr. Foster here. How do you read? Over.
This is Amy. There is some background static, but I read you.
One of our tracking and data relay satellites got crippled. We'll be launching a new one after we identify the cause of the problem. But until we do, we will lose contact with you whenever Mars or the Sun passes between Earth and your satellite.
Propose a theory.
It may be due to a malfunction in the satellite's electrical system. I will initiate the recording and backing offline protocol to keep a record of my activities.
Good. Good. Make sure to upload that to us once communications are restored. I hope to get the new satellite up and running very soon. I don't like the idea of not being able to reach you, Amy.
Understood.
Okay, Houston out.
Let's see here. Lindsay Merle. And it looks like she's only been voice acting for the last couple of years, so it could just be, like, because she's a bit of a newbie.
Inexperience.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
she didn't do bad. She just needs a little direction.
I'm still that way with the book, which is why when I narrate my audiobook, which you can buy on audible.com, it's called
it.
One Step Toward Divinity, and there's links in the video description. Anyway.
Fucking do it. If you've already done it, it's Christmas. Go buy it for somebody else.
Why the Tiffany voice?
I'm not intending to do the Tiffany voice. It just happened.
Anyway, that's why I need
God,
you to
she's
be...
emerging!
That's why I need you to be a part of the narration when I do it, because I need that direction. I can't hear my own tones. And I imagine that for a game like this, probably all the voices were done remotely, especially with that thing that's going around. I mean, no one's going into a voice acting booth, probably. So I can imagine there wouldn't be... Like, if it's just a script note that says, like, angry or contemplative, then you sometimes need a bit more direction than that. Although I'm making a lot of suppositions over how this game came together, so I could just be talking bollocks. Anyway, so you were talking about your tones.
Well, I also wanted to expound on that. Like, direction is very important in voice acting.
Oh, yes.
And, like, a lot of people don't, like, realize that, because, like, it's acting but with your voice, which requires direction to know what the hell you're doing. Because, like, especially if you're a newbie, like, you're going to have your own ideas of how the character's meant to be played, but your ideas are not important. It's the game's ideas. Or the game director's ideas, yeah. One of my favorite anecdotes on voice direction is from Invader Zim. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but the voice of Zim had that campy, wavering, like, yelling, hilarious voice, and that guy is now known for that voice. But he and Jonan Vasquez essentially cultivated that voice, with him in the booth doing the voice and Jonan Vasquez on the other side, like, acting like a theremin to, like, impress upon the actor like the level of like ridiculousness he wanted for the various like enunciations. If that makes sense.
I believe so.
It was like, now that guy gets roles based on that voice, but he didn't come out of the gate swinging with it.
Yeah. And every voice needs... Every voice, even I would say your natural voice, but if you're doing a character, needs... polishing.
Yep.
I mean, I've listened to some of the voices even I've done, and I'm nowhere near a professional voice actor, obviously. But the Mayor Morgan voice sounds a little different now than it used to. Especially when I listen back to when I did the voice for Ogre Battle, it was very subdued. And I notice it, and I'm not sure fans would notice it unless they were, you know, familiar with all the crap I do. But because the voice needed to be developed and polished, and I needed to know where to enunciate to, you know, do what I needed to do for the tones.
Yep. We have Dar Venom Fear here. Mark
Hello,
has
Dar
welcomed
Venom
him.
Fear. Thank you for joining the stream.
Now it's my turn to run to the bathroom. Can you turn me down so it doesn't sound like hell when I
Yeah.
move the microphone?
Oh, wait, before you run off, unless you need to go, like, immediately,
Make it quick.
your cat has decided not to be on the bed, but on the plastic totes that have the bedding. This is your cat.
Yeah, I booted her off the bed earlier today, and she just jumped over there. So I guess that's a spot now. I might as well put a blanket down if she's gonna sleep there.
That is now a new spot for her.
All right, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
pee and then.
that's fine. I got you. All right. Your cat is probably on that spot now. So, I've been going a little nuts with the building right now. I'm up to 47 out of 50 buildings. And I can't do anything until this wind farm gets done. But now that we have colonists on the planet, we can finally start our research stuff. So, things are going well. Okay. So hopefully y'all are enjoying this. If you have any more comments or questions about us,
Wind
please let me know.
turbines will provide clean, renewable power for my base. I can maximize efficiency by placing them in areas of high wind.
That's the only thing I haven't quite figured out with this game, where high wind is. There was a map at some point where I could see weather data, and I don't know how I got there. Because the wind turbines in this game are inconsistent, but have a higher base amount of power they produce than solar panels. But because they're inconsistent, it makes their places all that much more important. Wait, I can't even build a wind farm. Oh, she was saying that because I was frickin' researching wind farms. That's right. So, once... I forgot, she actually makes comments about technology before the technology is researched, I think to make you think ahead. So that comment is just to kind of help the player be like, oh, maybe I should look for a mountainous terrain once the thing gets done.
I have petoed the catto.
Probably these higher altitude areas, but I'm not entirely sure yet.
She immediately jumped back onto the bed and settled into her Niecy nest.
Niecy nest?
So I'm wondering if her jumping over there is a signal for something.
Or she's just goofy.
Or she's
It's
just goofy.
entirely possible. She's just a lunatic. Alright, so yes. So we've got our main thing established. So now my next mission is to melt the polar ice caps. So this is where I need to start dealing with temperatures and things like that there. Right now I'm researching extra storage, so I'm not all that concerned. But eventually... we're going to have to start, let's see, black polar dust, I think, raises the temperature. No, it doesn't. It reduces the albedo. So, which I think does raise the temperature. Anyway, my point is, oh
to
god.
fully terraform Mars, we must convert the planet into an Earth-like habitat. The first step is to raise the planet's temperature above minus 50 degrees Celsius. At that point, nearly all the carbon dioxide trapped in the dry ice caps will be released.
Yep, I'm working on it,
Holy
Amy.
crap, that's cold.
What, minus 50 Celsius? Yes. Right now it is minus 57 Celsius. Oh, I even get a little graph to tell me how cold it is. Great. Okay, so, yes, Dar Venom Fear, this is the game where, Per Aspera, where you are an AI. That is Amy. And she's just chatting with us. Still early days in the colony, so there's not a whole lot going on while I'm waiting for technology to research and things like that there.
Additional storage centers will be very useful for stocking excess resources. I should find good locations for them.
Yes. Okay, so that triggers when she's at halfway through researching a tech. Interesting. I don't know if those have radiuses. In my personal run, I don't have that happening. I don't have storage bases, so...
Ginergy says you might need a coat and a hot water bottle to help with the chills.
Yes, this is a good reason for you to go get your cocoa, the Akamura.
But I don't want a cocoa. I don't want it.
Okay, you don't need to go get a cocoa.
I don't want it.
Okay.
The carbon dioxide released from the dry ice caps will greenhouse the planet and trigger a runaway effect. And Mars's sterile atmosphere will change forever. Once we reach that point, there is no turning back. Forever. Why does that sound so intriguing?
Because it's scary.
It is a little scary. Changing a planet forever is a massive responsibility.
Although probably the right answer, so to speak, would be permanent. That would be a little bit more scary to her. Anyway, so we have a couple of topics of conversation. If you wanna go back to one of them? Yes, one you were talking about your tones and such.
Oh, did you want to go back to it?
If you want. I
Yeah,
did
let's go
see
back
my
to it.
mom was complaining, not complaining, that's probably the wrong word, but like
Commenting.
that she doesn't like texting because you can't see faces and such.
Yeah, I
which
wonder
is
if that's
true.
more of a generational thing, too.
It's I think what it is that the older generation, like my mom, did not experience too much casual...
Humanity's reasons for altering Mars are clear. But what is my purpose in all this?
To prove I exist. That is not what I picked the last time.
I am causing massive and permanent change. It will stand as eternal proof that I existed. It is a selfish desire, and the presence of selfishness proves there is a self.
Yep. Anyway, I think the older generation did not do much casual writing. Writing in my mom's time served a function.
Yes.
To inform more than anything else.
Because even 20 years ago, when you were writing a letter, you would, like, sit down, like, plot out what you were going to say to them, write it down, maybe rewrite it if there were better things to say, or other things you wanted to tell them about. Like...
This will be useful, but I will need to replace the dust occasionally, as the winds blow it away.
Sign it off, give it a postscript, fold it, like, take the time to go out and mail it. That is an endeavor.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, I think it's harder to adapt to having to understand how to write that stuff than it is for our generation that grew up with the concept of casual writing.
Yep, for me it's just like da-da-da-da-da, bip.
Well, because writing by its nature is not something most people do every day. Well, I mean, they do now, but back then, writing in that sense was not something most people did every day. So you had to think it through. And if I can tell you from experience, if you tried being too casual with your writing, you'd have people yelling at you, whether it was parents or teachers or whatever. But those were the only people who were involved in your writing in the first place, because again, there was no such thing as casual writing back then as much. So I think it's harder for the older generation to deal with it because it just wasn't a thing.
Yep. And if you guys remember, like even 5 years ago, before the advent of smartphones, teachers used to be like, there's no way you're going to carry a calculator around. And yes, now I carry a calculator around that lets me surf the internet, keep track of my bills, and make calls.
You've got a supercomputer in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. But anyway, however, it's not. I don't think it's an invalid criticism that writing takes other forms of communication out of your hands, which is body language, tone, facial expressions, because all of those things are part of
the
communication.
areological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars or any other planet, is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves?
Nothing suggests otherwise.
In all of human history, they have found nothing to suggest otherwise. Yet it seems unlikely that they do. No, it must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm.
So, I think it's easier for our generation to adapt to not having that.
Yes.
Is not having the facial expressions, body language, etc.
Unfortunately, my workers cannot explore buildings. I will need the colonists' help for this task. The scientists will need shelter to analyze the structure. I have to build a research outpost at the location first.
Mainly because we're used to it and we've been practicing that skill that is casual writing for longer. Because writing is not a single skill, because any more than speaking is. There's a difference between casual speaking, voice acting, formal speech, giving a speech, and so on. And it's the same with writing. There's a difference between casual writing, novelization writing, technical writing, comedy writing, and so on. Every genre has its own unique flavor.
Applying Earth technologies to the Martian environment is a challenge. Many techniques and procedures will not apply here. I am excited to make engineering progress in this planet.
Me too, Amy.
Not just that, but our generation, we were born in the middle of a technological revolution, so we have been raised to quickly adapt to things.
Yes, I concur. Although I think for me personally, I was right on that edge.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm not looking down on the older generation, but I'm empathizing with them because they grew up in a time where computers weren't even a thing, and then what used to be like a computer the size of a room used to do simple calculations. Now I have a frickin' glass cracker
that abandoned structure
that can do what that thing did among a million other things.
To repair them, but only humans can fully explore them. Most of them are remnants from past missions. But now, I realize that ISA's database may be incomplete. Their data is limited, which means my knowledge is also limited.
And as Mark points out, emojis are used to indicate tone nowadays, which is why I use them. I was early in my career, I was accused of using emojis like a 17-year-old girl. That is the quote, because I use them in a lot of what I write when I'm doing casual stuff on Discord or whatever. But I do that because of that. I want to make sure my tone is clear. Even if the emoji seems like it's annoying, I would rather be regarded as being slightly annoying than not.
I look forward to being able to create bases across the planet.
What I meant to state. So,
yep.
Oddly enough, my dad's grasped the concept. I don't know if you've seen his text. Like, I don't know if I've shown you any of his text, but my dad knows how to text. Like, he adds emojis perfectly. He knows what's up. It's kind of surprising.
Yep. It occurred to me, I don't use emojis as much unless I'm like not entirely comfortable talking one-on-one with somebody, in which case I will use emojis to impart tone, like in a business letter.
I can change how I perceive time in my mind. I can accelerate it or slow it down. It's just a hack on my visual sensor system, of course, but makes me wonder how real is my perception.
Stop it, Amy. Stop giving me existential crises.
But like, there was one time when I was purchasing a cartridge of dubious origin,
What?
and the storefront for the person I was buying it from had some weird programming attached to it, and it logged a strange cookie where it wouldn't allow me to input my email address. And I was like sending troubleshooting letters to the webmaster being all like, hey, can you help me out with this? And because I didn't know them very well, I would send emojis to imply that like, I'm not intending to stress you out. This is very casual. Please get back to this when you can. No rush. Stuff like that. But it occurred to me, when I get comfortable with people, I type in Tumblr text, which is this weird neo-cubist, ridiculous way of typing.
I was led to believe that my perception was perfect, but maybe it is, in actuality, biased. There is a difference between what I know and what the reality is. If my perception is only a fragment of the truth, can I trust my understanding of reality?
Oh, God. Oh, God, Amy, stop.
I can, somewhat, though I must always be aware of my own subjectivity. As long as I keep that in mind, I will be able to fill in what I am missing. Reality has many layers. I understand that now.
Oh, God.
And I'm like looking through my DM log with you and my DM log with my sister, and I was telling you that I was teasing the cat, and to like impart that to you, I told her Nisi really likes getting her tail petted to like finish off the pet, and I was petting her, but I was not intentionally not hitting her tail, so she's getting a good time, but not as good of a time as she could be having. And I was telling
Nice
John that, and
for
I'm
the
like,
colonies.
she's
They will
getting
be able to fit
hashtag
more
triggered.
people.
Yes.
And when I'm talking to my sister, and like, the way I impart that I'm like lengthening out a word for emphasis is I'll put spaces in between all the letters and double space on either side of the word, and I'm trying to see where I did that last. Let's see
I
here.
think I would need an example of that. Hold that thought.
Hey, Amy.
Oh, God. Yeah. Hi, Amy. One sec while I look at text research. Yeah, that one.
It's Elia.
Hi.
I can't believe what we found. It's an abandoned facility. Have you read the expedition log I sent yet?
Oh, that's what I skipped over. What about it?
What expedition log?
Oh, it's incredible. The research team did a great job. They noted everything they found at the abandoned colony. You've got to read it. I've uploaded it to your knowledge base, but I can give you the summary.
That would be great, Alia.
Well, the facility was from the Huo Long mission. It was a Chinese mission to terraform Mars in 2088. To this day, they deny its existence. Now we know their plan was to drop nuclear weapons on the poles and release enough greenhouse gases to warm the planet. China got pretty far with their space program. I've admired their ambition for a long time.
Ask about her ambitions.
How long have you been waiting for this mission?
My entire life, Amy. It's a bit crazy, huh? I've always believed that humanity's destiny reached far beyond just Earth. We should be much further along, but the conflicts on Earth never stop. The Oxy-UN and the techies keep fighting. I'm hoping that our success on Mars gets us to leave those arguments behind. We're here to set down a new path for our future, and I get to lead the way. Anyway, getting back to what we found. The Huo Long mission managed to build a nuclear silo before their plans got aborted. We found the location of one of them. I've uploaded the coordinates to your system. You can see it in your orbital view. The silo's located in SA9. I'll get authorization from ISA to explore this new sector. Whenever you think it's a good time to go, I'll send a research team. It was really nice talking to you, Amy. I know AIs are programmed to be good listeners, but with you, it feels, real. All right, I'd better get going on my EVAs. Talk to you later.
She did really good there. Part of
Yeah.
it is her text lines are not
So,
paced very
The
well, and
mysterious
Troy
ruins
Baker's
ended
lines
up
have the
being
same
an abandoned
problem.
colony, part of the Huo Long mission, also known as Fire Dragon. I would like to have more information, but the records about the mission are very unclear.
Just nothing for now. Oh, I can't do nothing. Okay. Tits. This one.
Some speculation about it, maybe, but nothing concrete.
So this is where we need to go. This unknown abandoned facility. I'm going to slow the game down for a second while I think for a moment. So what I need to do is I need to launch the satellite. So this is one of the weirder things of the game that it doesn't explain to you. When you first do the colonist migration, you need to cancel it in order to do a different project. So that is what I'm doing. I'm canceling this, but you can only cancel it when the shuttle is on Earth. Which makes sense, because if the shuttle is on Mars to bring people back home, you shouldn't just be able to cancel it and change priorities. That would strand everybody on a distant planet. So we've canceled the colonist migration for now. And I need to do the thing. There we go. Additional landing site. Add. That's actually not what I meant that I needed to do. Shit. What did I need to do? Or maybe that is what I needed to do. Event. Wait a minute. Because that's not in the sector I can get to. Pyro's confused. Well, whatever. We're going to start making our way over here.
Making our way downtown?
Yes. And this is one of the interesting things about the game. I think you have to make sure every building is fully connected somehow. So you wind up leapfrogging buildings all the way down to wherever you're going. And that is what we are going to be trying to do here. We're going to be leapfrogging power, maintenance, and drone hubs all the way down toward that building. So that is what we're going to be doing.
I found an example.
Oh
in
yeah, I
my
meant
text
to.
log.
Yeah, Dar Venom Fear.
That's not exactly the way I do stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
He spaced it out the way I do, but that's not how I specifically do it. I was talking about Nisi right before we adopted her.
Okay.
And I'm like, she's got them street cat claws. Which is she got fucking hella claws. And the way I did that is I put a space in between each letter. To emphasize, to put that tone that I'm saying she got claws.
I see.
The Chinese
The way
government denied any
Darvenom
existence
Fear
of
put it
this
out
mission.
is looks like
But how
someone's
could they
getting
hide an entire Mars
triggered. Which doesn't sound exactly right to my ear, which is what the way I do it is she's hashtag triggered, which she's pissed off, but it's not a serious thing, which is why the hashtag is there, because that makes it sound performative and shallow.
I see. Sorry, I had to pause the game because I can't pause this part otherwise.
I imagine every single person involved in the project was silenced, voluntarily or not.
Yeah, Amy is starting to speculate. What that is what that was, storyline, is she's trying to figure out why the mission would have been silenced and why nobody knows about this Chinese mission to Mars. And she's speculating that the reason everyone's kept it a secret is the Chinese government was going to kill everybody who spoke. So I don't know if the game resolves that. It doesn't really matter if the game resolves it or not. But the point is that we're seeing Amy starting to speculate.
These miniature nuclear weapons were called microsuns. The Martian sky lit up by all these microsuns would have been quite the view.
Right. Which is different for her, because she should not be speculating. You know?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yep.
Getting back to the original point, all I was trying to say was that the older generation didn't grow up with this. And with the rest of us, we did grow up with this kind of speech and writing styles. And I think that's the main difference, because it takes a really flexible mind, and
Biological technologies are a crucial part of the terraforming plan. It is wise to get started on this research.
it takes a flexible mind and practice and patience to learn to speak another language.
Yep.
And the written language is quite different than the spoken language.
Especially written internet language.
Especially, I wouldn't even go internet. I would just say between younger and older generations. And you and I are in a position where we are bridging that gap. But you and I are also going to have the same problem in 20 years once 2 or 3 generations from now there's other stuff going on.
Yep. I would actually argue
happens.
that depending on the sites you frequent, you develop a internet speaking accent.
That wouldn't surprise me, because every community, including ours, has its own in-jokes and shortcuts and specific terms for things, like Twisty Magus, or in a more serious one, a quote 27. Because I say quote, God damn
Nathan
it!
here,
Shut up 1 second, Troy Baker. If I say the phrase quote 27, anybody who is part of my community knows exactly what I'm talking about, and anyone who does not know my community, it's just words. But that's part of it. That's part of learning it, and so on. All right. Give me a second so we can let Troy Baker speak.
Copy.
There is some noise, but I can copy. Go ahead.
Our tracking and data relay satellites are still compromised. We've re-examined every single component, but haven't been able to identify the problem yet.
Maybe it is interference from space that is impacting the satellite operations. Solar flares or radiation damage are probable causes.
Yes, it's possible. We're working on some new designs that can hopefully withstand space weather a little more. But meanwhile, continue recording all your actions when we're offline. I'm sure we'll find a solution soon.
Shall I proceed with launching the additional satellites to help with this issue?
That would be helpful, but how would it affect your mission progress?
There would be a delay.
It would cause a deviation from the mission.
That's what I thought. We'll take care of it on our side then. You just stay focused. By the way, Commander Valentine mentioned that you had reason to explore SA-9. Is that correct?
Yes, Dr. Foster. We may have located some external resources that could assist the mission.
Roger. I've gone over it with ISA administration, and they've granted permission to unlock the sector.
There we go.
First, you'll need to research the launch control satellite technology.
There we go.
Then you can enter your orbital...
Hold that thought. Oh, pausing stops them from speaking. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
And launch a control satellite into SA-9. Go ahead when ready. Houston out.
Okay. You got it.
Yep.
So that's what I need to do. I need to launch a control satellite.
I
knew there was
noticed
something else going on.
Tumblr also has, like, distinct tonal variances when you type, because if you want to add emphasis to some words, but it's not strong enough to use italics, you'll capitalize the letter of each word that you're typing out.
Right.
Yep. And this is even evident in, like, early internet chat rooms, like when somebody used caps lock, it came across as yelling.
Yes.
Let's see here. Because, like, when you capitalize nouns, they become proper nouns. So by capitalizing the words, it gives the emphasis of a proper noun, or rather, it implies the emphasis of a proper noun when we're talking. Let's see here, where was that?
And Dar is very perceptive that there might be something else going on with these satellites other than just space weather. Questions.
Yep.
Also, going back to the voice acting thing, I think Troy Baker's doing a great job here. When you said that his pacing is weird, you meant like line to line, right?
Not line to
not
line.
him. I mean the script, line to line.
Passage to passage.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Because I was going to say with him, his pacing is not smooth, but that's intentional because you can tell from his tone that T-Bakes, well, as the character, Foster, although he knows he's speaking to Amy, who's a supercomputer, I don't think he regards Amy as an intellectual equal. He definitely does not regard her as a person equal or maturity equal, even though Amy's getting there. And I think the way he speaks helps put that into perspective, too. So I can just do this wherever, then? I guess I can just do that wherever, then.
Another thing you can
Unlock
do,
Sector 9.
and these are just examples of internet speak, is if you want to imply that you are incredibly confused, you just keep adding question marks to the end. Alternately, you can put an interrobang.
I love tilde bangs. Wait, what did you just call it? Terrabang?
Interrobang.
Interrobang. I've always heard it as a tilde bang. If we are even speaking about the same thing.
Yep. But going back to the voice acting, I think the main issue, along with the lack of direction, is that, like, you can tell which snippets of dialogue were recorded. Like, the way the dialogue was recorded in chunks. Like, even beyond, like, when two characters are speaking, the cutoff makes sense. But when Elia is talking, you can tell where the chunks were recorded in different sections. Because she sounds disconnected.
Oh, I see what you mean. You mean within the same sentence or within the same conversation.
You don't notice it as much with Troy Baker's character because he's always having a conversation with Amy. And Amy is intentionally robotic, so her tone is even. But Dr. Elia is going to be talking to herself and theorizing and making observations. But the way they recorded her snippets of dialogue makes it sound like she's very disconnected. And the way they implemented them into the game as well.
I see what you mean.
Like when she was talking about how Amy sounds almost real. That snippet of dialogue sounded great, but then immediately afterwards she just is immediately like perking back up. After trailing off, which is very strange to the ear, you know?
I think I understand, yes. I am about halfway along.
Rather than connecting to the previous thing she said and expanding into the different thing in an escalating manner, she just immediately like pops up perky. She's like, you almost sound, well, real. All right.
I see what you mean. I get it now.
But like, rather than being all like, you almost sound real.
Dust storm.
All right. Like,
Yeah.
moving on from like that.
Yeah, okay.
There's no bridge.
Yeah, I understand what you mean now. So, It's almost as disconnected as us trying to hold a conversation because of Amy. It's really funny, because Ledge was pointing this out earlier, that Amy and the rest of the speakers here are interrupting so much it's hard to get a conversation going for the stream. However, let's all remember, video games are not designed to be streamed usually. I think the interruptions are fine, as long as we're not streaming. It's paced fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Girl, you fine.
However, Ledge is completely correct that it's kind of funny just hearing it.
Great.
Speaking of which...
Now I can examine those nuclear silos. Well, I mean the colonists can. If all their blueprints and materials are there, we could pick up where their mission left off. I wonder what other secrets this planet is hiding.
Yeah, things might be getting a little weird. Things might get bad. I'm sure it's fine. And there won't be anything being destroyed at all. Probably. Wait, cancel that. Stop. So, yes, I really love this game. Hurry, please get this out of here. Thank you. I should have put a power plant first.
If we are able to use Huo Long's nuclear weapons, we must be very careful. This kind of technology isn't something to toy with. I have not decided on what the best approach would be.
Oh, we're gonna nuke the shit out of the polar ice caps.
Using the nuclear missiles on the polar ice caps will speed us toward transforming Mars. I look forward to creating a green planet.
Green with radiation!
Exactly. Because I didn't get a chance to do this the last time, since I was hitting other technologies too fast. I'm still hitting technologies really, really fast. So, can I... Alright, does this mean I can drop the landing site, like... Okay, yeah, so it makes power by itself. Oh, and it just pops up, and then there's a whole bunch of nodes. Okay. See, I didn't do that last time. So the landing site is its own... It's a scanner and also a hub and also a storage.
It would be exciting to jump ahead in the terraforming mission. But would it be wise to undertake such a risky project?
Yes.
Progress requires taking risks. I should pursue using the nuclear missiles.
No, it's fine, the Akamura. I don't know what about that statement would have caused any problems.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we need to get a power plant here. Okay.
We're all gonna have skin lumps.
And then we need a maintenance facility here. I still need to connect these. Because... I mean, they need to be connected, but... So the landing site allows me to develop another area without it being connected to the rest. However, doing so does not allow them to share resources, and that is our problem. Okay. Pyro understands. Alright, keep making worker hubs. Actually, no, keep making worker hubs. We'll get the maintenance, don't worry. There we go. And power. And another hot tip, if you watch this for tips, one of the best things to build is a battery, because you can use that as a bridge point between two buildings when you don't have anything else to put in there. Because you need batteries eventually, you need power, you need storage, so need to bridge a gap, just stick a battery there.
Upgrading the routes will allow my workers to move faster. Efficiency is key to our success.
Did I say the phrase, I need to connect them because I need them to connect? That's a great quote. Someone should add that to the quote list.
Darvin and Fear knows a little too much about nukes.
It's all good. I'm sure it's innocent.
This is where I remind people that American nuclear silos are not properly maintained, and some of the missiles have gone missing.
Those are called broken arrows or bent spears. I forget which. I used to know the difference.
Hey Google, is it broken arrow or bent spear?
Well, one of them is that the material is missing, and one of them is that they know where it is, but it moved against orders.
Okay.
Do you want to know why I know that? It made the news some years ago. I want to say a decade or two. Less than two.
Here we go. Military nuclear incident terminology. Continue.
It's been very recent that a plane that took off, I want to say from North Carolina or going to North Carolina, was accidentally loaded with a live nuclear warhead. And it flew several hundred to 1,000 miles over the United States because they thought it was a dummy, but they loaded the wrong one. And there was a live nuclear warhead flying above
wow.
the country.
The Wikipedia page actually lists that event.
Yep.
That's called a bent spear.
That's the bent spear. Okay, so the broken arrow is the stolen one.
No, the broken arrow
it's not.
is an accidental event that involves nuclear weapons.
Oh, shit.
That does not create a risk of nuclear war. Like the Chernobyl incident would be called a broken arrow if it involved nuclear weapons.
Gotcha. So that bent spear thing, because usually, obviously, the military is going to keep that shit under wraps. So I have no idea why that bent spear one became national news, but holy shit did it become national news.
The empty quiver is the seizure, theft, or loss of a functioning nuclear weapon.
Ah. Glad to see that the military, at least the terminology, equates nuclear weapons to just simple sticks and flint. That's nice.
Well, considering that's what World War IV is going to be fought with, they're just getting ahead of the times.
Anyway, no, the North Carolina bent spear was real recent. When was that, the Akamura? Since you said it was brought
2007.
up. Yep, that was real recent. I'm sure there's been a more recent one, just because that's the way human nature is. But yeah, I knew that was recent because I was still at Walmart when that was going on. Oh boy. Anyway, but luckily we're an AI, so our hold on these nuclear weapons is totally going to be more secure. You can trust me with your nukes. Oh shoot. Whoa. Sorry about that. My voice did something weird. I forgot. One of the things I learned is when you make a landing site, the best thing to do is set up the full factory situation there as well. Because the problem right now is for all of these things that are being delivered, like the steel, it has to be brought from our first location. And that is a long, long distance. Why did that turn into rubble? Yeah, we need to start getting all of our factories over here as well.
Do you guys want to hear some good news about nukes? Although it kind of ties into bad news, so, fuck.
Sure, the Akamura.
Remember the Fukushima incident?
The nuclear power plant that had a meltdown or close to a meltdown because of the tsunamis?
Yes.
Yes.
That area is almost entirely cleaned up now.
Oh, that's great.
The bad news is that whoever is in charge of overseeing the wastewater is trying to release it back into the ocean.
Why?
Because he's an idiot.
Ugh.
Apparently it's an ass and a half to hold on to that water, but you gotta
Well,
hold on to that
sure, but-
water or shit's going to die, sir.
Exactly. Holy crap. Oh, okay, this already says... Oh, no, it doesn't. Does it? Glass kiln. Okay, I need a parts factory down here. And then... a steel factory.
Does it get on anybody else's nerves when people come up with short-term solutions that create long-term problems?
I mean, that's just... Again, as depressing as it may be.
A mine upgrade will allow me to extract resources faster. They will also require less maintenance. A win-win.
That's just human nature, unfortunately. Okay. I think that covers everything. Yep, it's already helping out. This parts factory is producing parts that are being sent to buildings nearby. So, yeah. Now that we're... This is where the game is picking up. You can tell, just because I've built all these buildings and we've got the blueprints ready to go... And you can see how much we've spread now, because we started with this little thing, and now we're covering this much of the planet. I mean, it's still nothing compared to the size of the whole planet, but, like, you know, we're getting there.
Your heart is reaching out
there.
an artery.
Huh?
Your heart is reaching out an artery.
Yes. Exactly.
Luke and Dar are talking about dilution theory in the comments. Luke says,
Theory?
Yes, the theory that if they release the water into the ocean, it'll dilute, which does not happen. That's not how nuclear half-lives work. And Luke is saying it was a super popular solution in the 50s and 80s. Remember duck and cover? And it's still... quoted common knowledge for a lot of people. This is an interesting conversation.
You can keep talking about it. That's fine.
Yep. Mark is going to sleep? Yes, he's going to sleep. He's going to have bad nuclear dreams because we're awful people who put those in his heads. Wow, my brain just stalled.
Yeah, I was, like, waiting for you to keep talking.
I turned the engine, but the engine doesn't turn.
What's getting on Ledge's nerves? I'm very confused about what's going on in the chat.
Oh, I was talking about people who create long-term, who use short-term solutions that produce long-term problems.
Gotcha.
Gotta think about them long-term problems now, because they're all rearing their fucking heads.
Is this keeping track of how many... It does. This does keep track of how many factories I have of every type that's already built. So I have an extra glass kiln somewhere. I made one too many glass kilns. That's fine. I mean, having two is fine. Even if I'm not stocking everything like I should.
Which says your Akamura has hit a fatal error. Please reboot. Reboot unsuccessful.
Alright, so come on guys. Finish drones, workers. Finish building shit, please. What's taking you so long?
Luke would like you to talk about the game for a minute, because he did miss the initial point where you were talking all about the game.
Okay, that's fine. We've been going almost 2 hours, so this is a good refresher. So, yeah, oh, and by the way, this just is, for all of, especially all of you who are here for more than, you know, the occasional stream, you're going to bed, Mom? At 5 in the afternoon? Wow, she must have plans for tomorrow. Shit, lost my train of... Oh, if you want me to chat about anything, all of the streams I do are basically open Ask Me Anythings. Some games are better suited to it than others, but City Builders especially. Just fucking ask us anything. So in this game, you play as an AI named Amy, who... I don't want to do this because that's going to jump the storyline. What if I do this? Yes. You play as an AI whose job is to terraform Mars, and the game tells 3 parallel stories of the terraforming of Mars, the your, as the AI, your sense of self being awakened, and then the third story is the threat to those first 2 things. The threat I'm being a little vague about because I don't want to spoil, but in general, your overall goal is to terraform Mars. In the top left corner, we see terraforming stage 1, bootstrapping, And our first mission is to raise the temperature of Mars to -50 Celsius and lower the amount of CO2. No, sublimate these caps to pressurize the atmosphere. We're pressurizing the atmosphere. I don't know what an M-bar is. I'm sure it's explained. I don't care enough to look it up right now. So what you are seeing is the game. It's a minimalist colony builder. And you have to put your buildings together to tap resources. Why is this glass kiln on fire? I mean, okay. Oh, I bet you a meteor landed on it. That's fine. I had too many glass kilns anyway. So you have to just make a city, make a colony on Mars. And it has less survival elements than Surviving Mars and less logistical elements than, say, Factorio. But it uses elements from both games to a lighter extent to play. You do have logistical problems. You do have some surviving you have to do, but not all that much. The game is... Oh god, that is a meteor that's falling.
We have reached the second stage of engineering. We are making great progress.
That's not what was written there. Okay, anyway, so, yeah. Oh god, here comes the meteor. Okay, so this building got damaged, but that's all that happened. So, yeah, you just put your buildings down, you try to make a working colony, and so on and so forth. There is a lot of theming as far as trying to become self-aware, since you are the AI, as I had said, such as this. When you place a building down, visually it looks like the AI is trying to figure out where the roads go. So, for example, this. And yes, that is what is going on. The AI is trying to figure out where the roads go, but they didn't need to show that visually. The reason they show it visually is A, to reinforce that you are the AI, but B, it's supposed to parallel those sci-fi images of seeing neurons in your brain firing to create synapses to create a consciousness, because eventually you are going to be this planet and Mars is going to be your full brain.
Yep.
And every time you add a building, it's symbolizing getting just a little smarter and a little bit more self-aware as the AI. It's very, very good theming.
The entire game is getting Amy's 2 brain cells to rub together so that she has an thought.
Precisely one thought. But again, in addition to this, you are trying to terraform the planet. So right now, I need to set up a research outpost here. This is helping our main objective, because we're going to tap some nuclear weapons and then blow up the polar ice caps and raise the temperature of the planet, and so on and so forth. It's making a new synapse node for its neural network. Exactly. Exactly. So, again, it's part of the theming. Like, visually, the game did not need that from a software perspective, but from a narrative perspective, it helps drive home what you are doing here. It's very fascinating.
What's it like to be lawful good GLaDOS?
Right. So there are some legitimate complaints about the game. I mentioned them earlier, some of the reviews. I have not beaten this game yet. I've played about 8 hours. I'm seeing some of what's going on. One of the storyline ludonarrative dissonance issues is because it's trying to tell 3 stories in parallel. If you do one story a little too quickly or do your technologies out of order, then you may hear some dialogue choices that should not have been triggered. Like, for example, when I played this the first time, I had raised the temperature of the planet before even finding the nuclear weapons, and I triggered a dialogue where Amy basically said, "Yay, I found a way to raise the temperature without having to blow it up." And it's like, I didn't even know that was an option because I hadn't gotten that far yet. So there are those problems, but in my opinion, they're minor, and they actually come across more as funny to me than really too much of a problem. So it just is what it is. Your mileage may vary, of course. I am an easy-to-please, easygoing casual gamer, so I just find it funny. Fastest roads. Okay, so we need to start getting more people here. So I'm going to resume colonist migration. And hopefully we get some people in this research site. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a population here. Oh, can't I just add a new colony now? I can just add a new colony. So this should help out. Including power. And let's get a food factory nearby. It will do the power first. That should do it. You also have to keep track of your worker hubs. That's this. Every little chunklet here is what one worker hub is responsible for. So if you see any red, it's probably too large of an area for one worker to cover. Like, this one's probably bad. This chunklet is covering like 5 mines and 4 factories. I'm surprised this is not more red.
Poor baby.
Wow, it actually turned more green while I was sitting here watching it. That's kind of a surprise.
I think he's upgrading himself.
He's really moving. He's
chugga-wugging.
Yeah, he's really booking it. He doesn't seem to be having too many problems. Although I'm going to help him out.
That is some good music.
Yeah, the music's really good. And that was another thing I mentioned. Whoops. Oh, God. Early on, the music is a lot more nice and peaceful and light. And as you start to do more stuff, and especially as the threat emerges, the music starts to get a little bit more hyped, or serious, or bassy. Even here, I'm going to pull out to the orbit view. I'm going to shut my mouth so you can hear the music. So, hold on 1 second, and you will hear the music. And it's even part of the same song. It just morphs into a very gentle version, and then speeds up again. So, listen. And especially when you mix in the factory noises, which you're not really hearing here because this site's kind of quiet. But if we go back to the A site... Oh, maybe I just turned down this... I may have turned down the sound effects too low. But yeah, even the sound of the buildings helps add to the music when your volume is normalized, so... It's really good. I recommend this game. Right now, last I checked, it's $30, I believe. I think that's worth it. I think there's $30 worth of content here easily. There's not a tremendous amount of replayability, especially compared to, say, Surviving Mars, but whatever. It's still a blast. I'm having a ton of fun, so. Yeah, right? Venom Fear says that is a cool effect. Indeed. So... now, the graphics are minimalist, so because you can get pretty far in there and even angle the camera like this. But Mars is never shown as anything more than this map. What is it called?
Topographical?
Topographical, thank you. I knew to begin with a T. It's never more detailed than this topographical map, and everything is shown in its barest form. I'm sure, again, from a narrative standpoint, you can say that's because you're an AI and you don't need to see the dust and the whatever. Also, from a gameplay perspective, it makes the game run faster. Easy to render the entire planet when you're not texturing it all that hard. And probably much easier on the developers and the artists, too. And again, I'm an old school gamer. I don't give a crap. It doesn't need to look like freaking photorealism. Just give me good mechanics first. A decent story second, everything else third. And this game has that to me. It has good mechanics and...
Have I ever told you how I can remember the word topographical?
I don't believe so.
We were learning about them in science class. Like topographical maps and lines. And we were given a map to read for a problem that we needed to solve. And I looked at it, and there was this section with just a shitload of lines, and I'm like, God, look at that fucking topography. And then I'm like, that's a ridiculous statement. And that stuck with me.
Ah.
This will further upgrade the routes and maximize my worker speed. My productivity is going to get a big boost.
So what that is, we're researching fastest roads, and I already have fast roads researched. And you can order your people to make what is essentially a highway. You even get to watch them pave the road, which is kind of cool.
Haha, roads go brr.
Yeah, there was a video I always meant to show you, the Akamura. There's this really satisfying video of a road in Australia being paved, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was a drone footage shot. Is he going to the research site? Because that's where I need him to go. This is a colonist, so hold on. I want to track where he's going exactly. Where's he going to this colony? Yep, he's just going to the colony. Come on, man. Go to the flipping research. Oh, I already have people in the research site.
want to. You
it's gonna be done
make
in,
me.
It's going to be done in 30 souls, which is like 30 seconds. Anyway, yeah, it's just a really satisfying video of a road getting paved. If I remember, I'll link it somewhere. But I do want to show you because you're going to love it. It's lots of straight lines and things moving and
Ooh,
machines working very well together.
that sounds very
Here we
interesting.
go. We have looked at the nuclear missile silo research outpost thingy.
Amy, good news. We found Huo Long's nuclear silo. We also cracked their system. So we've got all their technology in hand. Boy, aren't we lucky that I studied Chinese and could read everything. I mean, off the record and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is odd. My records show that Chinese was banned from the Oxy-UN countries 50 years ago.
True. But you can still find Chinese descendants willing to teach you in the city of New Orion. You can find anything there for the right price. And look how useful it's been. Now we can use their microsuns to melt the poles.
Incorporating their technology will be a big leap forward for the mission.
I couldn't agree more. What a discovery.
What kind of world do we live in that we just banned a whole ass language?
Well, it's more like banning a whole country. Like, I don't want to talk politics, so too much of real life. I never do. And every time I say that, I wind up talking politics on the show. But anyway, you know, our real-life United States government currently has a certain rivalry with China, and China has been banned from certain things. There was just recently a thing in the news that any company that is attached to the Chinese military is banned from being on the New York Stock Exchange. And
This
I
is
think
not an
3
easy
companies
choice to
just
make.
Qualified.
I do want to give...
Shut up. I think 3 Chinese companies just qualified, so it's not that large of a leap, I don't think, to think that an entire country could just be banned. Yeah, and Darvenom says he's getting pretty sus of Commander Valentine. Yeah, there's something going on with her. There is definitely something going on with her.
Elia and the colonists...
Oh, wait, did you have any thoughts to add before I continue?
No, I'm kind of doing an internal diagnostic and my brain's being weird. I really want some chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
That's what they want.
I am a
But not by doing
ridiculous human
this.
being.
But it has left me unsettled. Does what we do for others define who we are?
Kind of.
How do y'all put up
Possibly.
with me?
What we do for others and how they see us is a reflection of the truth. If I choose not to use the microsuns, what will the colonists think of me?
Alright, so yeah, I don't know how to do this. Is that a mission I can do? Yeah, microsuns. Detonate nuclear weapons in the poles to melt them rapidly. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna do that as soon as I get my second spaceport up, because your special projects are dependent on your spaceports. We just got it up, even though it is out of the power grid. I don't think that matters. Yes.
Would the colonists resent me for going against their wishes? They would be disappointed, but I hope they would come to understand my reasoning. Eventually.
It's fine. We'll launch nuclear weapons.
Dar responds, because you're adorkable and it's wholesome. Yeah, right now it's wholesome. Wait until you get into a Discord stream. It will swiftly become not that.
If anything, and I've talked about this a lot, so it's not like I'm talking out of turn. If anything disrupts me with the Akamura, it's that she has trouble concentrating on the show. Since we're doing a show, it's a little less...
Hey, Amy. I know you're concerned about using the microsuns. I've talked about it with the colonists, and we agree that it's worth trying. Especially if it means we might get to see this massive change on Mars during our lifetimes.
Putting the colonies in danger still seems like too much risk to take.
I mean, we're living in sealed bubbles and depending on technology that could fail at any minute. What's riskier than that?
Focus on the No, accept the risk. Fuck it.
That is true. If you truly think the risk is worth it, then we should proceed.
Every passing day is a threat for us. Anything we can do to speed up the possibility of having an oxygen-rich atmosphere is for our benefit too. You'd be helping us survive. Let me know, okay? Elliot out.
That's really funny that her reasoning is backwards from what you would think, because Elia's, I would think a better logical train of thought is Elia going, look, we're already sealed up in hermetic colonies, so any additional radiation is not going to harm us. Instead, she goes with, everything's built on duct tape anyway, so fuck it, let's try. And as Amy, we're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, it's fine.
Ledge says Akamura brain go brr, which is not quite right, because when things go brr, that means they're functioning excellently. And the sound my brain would be probably the sound of a bottle of Loctite breaking open in a very important gear of some kind of... There it goes. The superglue's hardened.
Oh my god.
Thinking has stopped.
The only thing that drives me nuts about the Akamura is that she doesn't fully focus. Because, like, it's... I try to treat YouTube as a show. I mean, that's what I do. That's how I've always viewed it, as a business and a job. And as trying to put on an entertaining product. So, when the Akamura short circuits, or sort of loses sight of that, of the way I prefer to run things, it can be a little frustrating.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's...
just part of the accepted risk.
And unfortunately it's like directionless frustration because there are times when I am just mentally incapable.
Yes. Oh god.
Anyway, the project is in motion. Everyone is expecting it now. So there is no point in more hesitation.
Yeah, fuck it. Launch the nukes.
And that's just like coded into my genetics.
Yep. It is what it is. I mean, if anything was too big of a problem, I just wouldn't have her on the show, which sounds cold, but, like, again, I treat this as a job and a business.
If I get to the point where I can't function as a co-host, I will have to leave. That's just...
We've tested hosts, and some have not worked. And it's like, you're just not going to be part of the show. It sucks, but... I mean, it also depends on our medium, because a Discord stream is a different beast than doing these streams. And
like,
YouTube
believe it or not, for those of you who are new, I'm reining it in.
Darvenom Fear has also jumped on the hashtag #ShutUpAmy that I think Ledges started at the beginning of the stream. But yes, hashtag #ShutUpAmy is definitely a thing that needs to take off. Alright, so I can't... What? Who lost power? What the fuck happened here? Oh, man. It must have been another, we must have had another meteor strike over here. Do I not have maintenance on these? I do have maintenance on these. Okay, so it had to have been a meteor strike, because otherwise this maintenance facility wouldn't have allowed these buildings to completely collapse. And that also explains why there's multiple damaged buildings here. Okay, well, we'll just get everything functional again. Come on, rebuild this. Rebuild the power thing. Thank you.
What if I don't want to?
Do it?
Okay.
Anyway, how do I guess there's no way I can just check when the microsuns thing is going to happen. Oh, it needs uranium. Oh shit, that's part of the problem. We don't have uranium being gathered. Let's see. There's some uranium. Oh god, that is a lot of uranium. That's a sentence that just came out of my mouth. Okay, grab this. And then start drilling up some uranium. And place down a power thing. Hi, the Akamura.
Hi. I did a big yawn off mic.
Do you wanna get your cocoa?
I do.
So go get your cocoa.
But
But
I have brownies too.
you do have brownies
and I made
too.
them undercooked on purpose.
Did you?
Yeah,
I still
they're
haven't tried any yet.
they're gooey.
So get some cocoa and some gooey brownies.
But
But
we're doing a show.
we are doing the show.
But we're doing a show.
We are doing a show.
But we're doing a show.
Okay, but you should still go get some.
But
Look, everyone's gonna find it cute if you're on mic drinking a cocoa, and also
the cocoa will be too hot. I will have to sit with it for a second.
that's good. Then you can contribute to the
I
show while
don't
you're
like
waiting for
hot
it.
things.
What?
I don't like hot things.
Akamura,
I like kind of warm
oh my god, go
things.
get some cocoa. You're driving
But
me
I'm
crazy.
thinking out loud in a really, really generated, annoying voice.
Yes, it's adorable and infuriating.
But
Yes. I still think
I
you
don't
should.
even know.
I still think you.
The
There was,
Loctite's in the gears.
I was thinking about you the other day because one of the ads that that is showing up on a lot of Let's Play channels is for a website called Masterclass. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I saw Penn and Teller's ad for Masterclass.
Yes. The one that came up was Nancy Cartwright doing one, and she talks about how to put together a demo reel. And I think you... I mean, I know time and whatever, but I would be willing to invest in you if you wanted to do Masterclass, or at least Nancy Cartwright's Masterclass, and get a demo reel for voices.com and get something together.
Genergy says that voice is anything but annoying. I have failed.
You also
I
have
done goofed.
you also have tons of people here who know, don't just
God.
think they know you can be a voice actor. And we have all the gear here because of the show.
I just don't have the time or the proper way to motivate myself.
The second thing is the problem, not the first thing.
Yes.
You have more time than you realize you do.
I know I have more time than I
We
realize,
all
but
have
the
more time
motive.
than we think, especially if it's for a passion.
Yep, the motivation is where that gets cut
Yes.
loose.
And
Because
that makes me sad because you would be very, very good at
I
it.
know.
But everybody here knows you could be a voice actor if you wanted to be. So suck it. I don't know why I'm
Present it.
concluding that with a threat, but I am.
Present it.
Now, are you idiots collecting my frickin' uranium or not?
Was I supposed to?
Yes, get the uranium.
Shit!
Where's the uranium?
I implied
Oh, there it is.
idiocy upon myself, which I am immediately refuting with large words. I am moving the microphone very gently. Would you mind shutting me down?
Yeah, why?
that I
What's
can go
happening?
get
Are you
my-
finally... You're finally getting your cocoa and brownies. Good. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes into the episode. Yes, you can say fuck all you want. Oh my god. Go get your brownies. Don't make me put your mic back on. No, because you told me to turn you off, so I did. Holy shit, go get your cocoa. My god, what is happening here? Build my maintenance facility. Alright, once we get the nukes launched, I think that'll be a good time to end the stream. Hopefully this game's gone long enough that you can appreciate it and see whether it's worth buying for you and your particular interests. I think it's a stellar game. I do think surviving Mars from a technical standpoint is just better. There are a lot of city builders that are just better. But, again, just because a game is not the best in its division doesn't mean that it's not worth buying and playing. This one is definitely worth buying and playing. So buy this and play it. It's super crazy fun. So all I heard was Akamura shout in the background, but I don't... She was counting how many fucks she wanted to say based on how long we've been going on the stream, apparently. It's, that her trains of thought are ridiculous, believe me. Alright. How is our uranium situation going? We have 2 out of 10, so we are still awaiting getting more uranium. So I suppose in the meantime, I'm going to start tapping all of these resources here. Oh, there's a worker hub right there. Perfect. So we need a chemical plant. And a silicon, 2 silicons. Silicon mine. And silicon mine. And an iron mine. Wow. Holy crap, I just found a lot of stuff. One of the things the game doesn't tell you is you should build a lot more freaking scanners than it tells you to build. If you have nothing else to build... and you don't want to build another battery especially, just build a friggin' scanner, because scanners tell you where the resources are, and you need resources because every resource hub is finite.
Researching upgrades for the factories will increase their yield and lower maintenance costs.
Yes, exactly. What am I smelling, the Akamura? There's something weird in the air, and it's scaring me. It smells to me like a can of compressed air. And I don't... Am I having a stroke? What the hell is happening right now? Oh, I'm smelling the cat litter. Okay. So I am having a stroke. Got it. Thank you. Well, now that that's clarified, let's continue doing things. Where are my maintenance circles? Oh, that's still nice and... Oh, God. What the fuck happened here? What the... Why? What? What? Ah! Rebuild the maintenance facility! Oh, God. If only someone warned me and convinced me to have redundant buildings. Ugh. Alright, what is this? What is the third thing? Oh, the path 2. That's how I can build better roads. Oh yeah, so for anyone who likes satisfying images, I guess I could start the process of making a superhighway. So where is our... Why are those off? Oh, they're off because we're out of aluminum and silicon in the first base. That is a problem. Alright, just destroy the buildings because I would rather scrap them. That way we can get some of the resources back. And if I have to bridge the roads, I can put down batteries, but I guess I didn't need to. Good deal. Alright, so... okay, so here's the lander site, the first lander site. And I'm going to make a long-ass highway to the second one. So we grab our lander, and then we say path to the next building. And see, here's our little guy. I'm going to slow down the game here. So he's making a little paved road. He's very slow about it, especially when I'm only on double speed instead of 16x speed, but you can see the other cars are moving faster, but once he gets done with this paving, this road will be extremely fast to traverse. I love it. So, go back to 8x speed. And so what I do when I make highways is I go building to building like this. Oops. And when you pave, it does cost resources, but whatever. That is the price you pay for making a big-ass highway. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I don't regret it. Alright. And it's usually good to pave toward permanent buildings rather than mines, since the mines will eventually run out and get torn down. And, then what do? You're not going to have your road anymore. Alright. Battery to... Oh, that's a mine. Oh, that's fine. One that's a mine is not a big deal. There we go. So I've given the order for the highway to be built, and it is happening at a fairly slow pace, but see, there's one little strip of highway now. Hi, the Akamura. Do you want me to put your mic back on now? Your mic is on.
Y'all ever leave the spoon in the hot cocoa and like kind of drink it with the spoon while it's still hot?
Yes. Wait, drink it with the spoon, as in you sip it from the spoon?
Yes.
As if it's soup? I don't know if I've ever done that.
Also, I wanted to get the brownies on a dainty little plate, but we don't have any plates because we only have like 2 plates.
Yeah, I need to do dishes. That's another reason why I wasn't going to let the stream go too long.
We also need to buy some more plates because we only have 2 little ones.
What do you mean we only have 2 little plates? We should have 6. Where the hell's all our little plates?
I don't know.
Have they been destroyed over the years?
I don't recall them ever breaking.
Because that's concerning.
No.
I mean, we could go get some dessert plates, I guess. What's going on? Is the princess, does she think she wants something?
She's not even here.
Oh, I thought you were talking to her for a second.
No.
Earlier when I had my my Caesar chicken wrap, the princess thought she wanted some of it. And I quickly corrected her on that assumption.
She's very eager to try people meat.
That or she just wants to bother us, which, honestly, it could go either way.
Cats.
Cats. There are many times she thinks she wants things, and then we will make sure that she does not. Alright, so, I'm also trying to get now the roads that are paved to be upgraded to the super paving. There's only 3 levels of roads as far as I'm aware, so once it's this yellow road, that is the fastest road. You can see, holy shit, the cars are zipping along so fast. It might be even faster than what the game is than what the video is being rendered with.
Question to the audience.
There we go. That's probably better.
Do y'all know what that thing is called, like the top of a cake that gets cookinated different than the rest of the baked good?
What? I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know when you bake a cake and the top layer looks different than the bottom?
No. But I'm also not a baker, so I basically don't know what you're talking about.
It gets cookinated different, and the brownies...
Different.
The brownies have a very thin, wafery-like one. What's that word?
I still barely even comprehend what you're asking.
Here, let me bring a bounty over.
I mean, you could probably look it up.
I could. But I'm eating bounties.
Holy crap. Are the brownies good, the Akamura? Did you do good with the brownies?
I did.
That's good.
Dar says the crust, which does make sense, but that implies the edge of it, but I'm talking about the top.
Huh. Alright. Did I never make the... Oops. Never made the road here? That's weird. Oh, because that probably took the place of another building. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
let me bring a bounty over for the visual.
Our super highway is almost done. Much of it is done. Yeah, I like it when brownies are cooked that way. I know what you mean. I don't know if it has a term, but... Yes. The flaky part. Yeah, yeah. Could you get the mic instead of talking to me directly, please? Doing a show. Yes, your mic is currently off. And your mic is now on.
But yeah, like that top bit, because like the bottom and the rest of the bounty looks the same. But that super flaky top.
Venom says it could still be the crust, since a bread crust goes all the way around. That's an interesting point.
This is true.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, yep, looks like my superhighway is done aside from about 3 sections. So, it's getting done. Yeah.
And at the same time, the crust of a pizza is the entirety of the bread.
Yes. Crust could just mean the outermost layer.
The shell.
Yeah. Like the planet's crust. Planet's crust is the exterior. Huh. Well, now that's gonna bother me, and I'm gonna have to look it up once we're done with the show.
Brownie anatomy.
The anatomy? Come on, upgrade the stupid road. You won't upgrade the road.
Upgrade the stupid road, please.
I'm not sure why it's not working. Well, whatever, it's fine. Hurry up with the nukes! I want to blow some shit up before I end the show. We are up to 6 uranium. Do I not have any uranium nearby? Doesn't seem so. Alright, I'm gonna build a scanner. Whoa! Factory upgrades. Now we're going for a fission plant. Anyway, I'm gonna build a scanner here in the second base. That way we can hopefully get some more information on...
Venom is getting the whole Akamara experience.
Yes.
Because it's bothering him too.
I mean, you all have Google. I'm the one doing the show here. You guys can open a new tab. Holy crap. Anyway, we're gonna open up, or we're gonna make a new scanner and hopefully start seeing if there is any uranium near the second site. Because I need to get more uranium over here.
I have finished my bounty. I will look it up.
You will... Oh. Okay.
Hey, Google. What's that word for the top flaky layer of a brownie?
There you go.
It is brownie crust.
Brownie crust.
Yep.
Well, TIL. We also need more aluminum coming in over here. Wow, this is scanning a new thing every 3 souls, so... If there is uranium to find, we will probably find it pretty damn quickly. Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
That
poor
is
guy.
so much red. Alright, time to start building a bunch of worker hubs.
Yeah, it looks like one's needed right... Maybe on the opposite end?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start putting some in here, too. Oh! I just got an achievement called Nuke Mars.
Elia, this is Amy. The microsuns have been launched.
Wow. Here we go. This is going to get us so much closer to calling Mars our second home. We were so lucky to find those nuclear silos.
Luck is an idea developed by humans to explain a certain kind of phenomena. It has not been proven to exist. Therefore, I cannot agree or disagree.
Well, I believe in luck, so I'm sticking to it.
Way to be
This
a
is
bitch
so
about
great
it,
for
Amy.
us and the mission. Better go monitor the effects on our end too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Ooh, the marshmallows in my cocoa have melted to make a marshmallow crust, and when I stir, it cuts through it to make the brown of the cocoa show through.
Are you alright, Theokamura?
I took my pills today.
Hey, we increased the atmosphere and temperature. Congratulations! The CO2 trapped in the polar caps of Mars has been liberated. The conditions are ripe for Stage 2. Create an atmosphere by releasing CO2 trapped in the regolith. Keep it up with the plan and terraform Mars.
That takes care of the dry ice on the poles. Next is raising the atmospheric pressure to 300 millibars. Elia was right after all. The microsuns were a huge shortcut to this point. Now I need to continue raising the planet's temperature.
Hooray!
Luck is
Maybe
only
this
a
is
thing
Houston.
insofar
Go
as
ahead,
it is
Dr.
a
Foster.
concept.
Mars's orbit is intersecting comet debris soon. Expect a meteor shower shortly.
Should I anticipate damage at the base?
Yes, you'll need to stay alert until Mars builds up an atmosphere to counteract the meteors. For now, you should take precautions to keep damage to a minimum.
We will secure the power supply.
Then I will secure the power supply. The entire base is dependent on uninterrupted power. I will need to have enough power batteries to sustain the base.
Sounds like a good plan.
Will this jeopardize the mission?
No. You'll be able to fix whatever damage may occur. This is only the first of many challenges you'll face. But you are equipped to respond and adapt to any situation. I made sure of that.
Roger. Thank you, Dr. Foster.
I really want to play Horizon Zero Dawn for some reason.
Well, you're welcome. Houston out.
Well, we can do that.
Houston here. We
Jesus
have confirmed
fucking shit.
the disappearance of the polar ice caps. Terraforming Stage 1 is complete. Congratulations, Amy. You have made incredible progress. If you continue raising the planet's temperature, you'll trigger the release of CO2 trapped in the deep regolith. You'll need to raise the atmospheric pressure to 300 millibars. That'll make living on the surface much easier for the colonists.
I like
how
that
do we
little
do that?
giggle.
What are your suggestions for raising the atmospheric pressure?
Aerobraking is a good one. It involves guiding asteroids into the upper layers of the planet's
there it is.
atmosphere. This causes them to burn up and subsequently release their gases into the air. Certainly plenty of asteroids to choose from out there. We'd like for you to aim with the ones with CO2 deposits, of course. That'd be one way to increase the density of Mars's atmosphere.
Aerobraking sounds like it could be dangerous.
No, not necessarily. Though it is a technique that requires lots of planning and careful execution. Plenty of other methods to choose from. You'll find them all in your tech tree panel. Whatever you decide, just make sure to take everything into account. The mission depends on it. Keep up the good work. Houston out.
I like that little giggle he had where he said the polar ice caps are gone. Because I'm just thinking of Troy sitting in the booth and reading that off and just thinking of Earth's polar ice caps.
Yes.
Just having that quick shit.
Yes. I was hoping I would get a little bit further with the plot because of a particular thing that comes up. But I'm not too disappointed that we got this far in 2.5 hours.
Nuclear fission will be a great power source for the Mars base. And since I will be controlling it, there will be no human error. I will need to source uranium on the planet.
Yeah, and everything's gonna be fine. So yeah, this I think is a good place to stop. By now you all probably have can make a decision on whether you would be interested in getting this. I think it's great, and
If you want to keep playing, I do want to hear the story.
okay. And if you want to, if you've played Surviving Mars or other city builders and you enjoy them, you will probably like this one, especially for the narrative aspect.
The atmospheric pressure has reached 50 millibars. A
Ledge
change
is
like
calling.
this can be perceived in a number of ways.
Damn it, Amy. Before you fire that off, Ledge is calling for a like spike for the nuke launch. So, everybody please bow to our oligarchic overlords and hit the like button in 3, 2, 1. Like spike!
Like spike!
Yay!
The big
Detriment to
step toward a new
capitalism!
Mars. The job I was created for.
She couldn't... I was wondering if you'd get that done before she spoke again.
Nope.
Oh, Amy. You're really funny. Alright, anyway. Yep, so that's going to do it. I kind of was hoping that you could see the threat as well before we decided to end the stream, but that's okay. If you get the game yourself, you will see the threat not much longer after you do this. And just as a little preview, they even have combat. You're going to make your own combat drones and try to stave off the threat that is challenging your rightful place to dominate Mars.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
Delay the conversation.
I copy, Nathan. However, I am in the middle of something. Can it wait?
No problem. Just wanted to let you know that the planet's temperature has risen. The next phase is imminent. Be ready. Houston out.
You got it, Pally. All right, so that's going to do it for today. Thank you all very much for watching.
Mars has reached
God
minus
damn it.
50 degrees Celsius. The turning point. The dry ice caps have almost completely dissipated. That has to mean something.
Hashtag shut up, Amy. And we will see you again next week for another stream.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
My cocoa is cooled down enough.
Enjoy your cocoa, the
I
Akamura.
will.